Theodore Robert Bundy, you are charged, indictment, 2 counts burglary, 2 counts murder in the first degree, 3 counts attempted murder in the first degree.
I think most humans have in them the capacity to commit murder. They choose not to, not because they are morally superior as they so commonly claim, but because they are imprisoned in a web of responsibilities, commitments, beliefs, and sentiments.
Richard.
And that would render murder an absurd gamble or ridiculous self-destruction.
Hello. We're here. We're kind of on time. A little bit, maybe a little off, a few seconds. It still counts. Hi.
Yeah. We're I've got double audio coming through, or maybe you do. One of us does. Where's that coming from?
I don't hear an echo. Does the chat hear an echo? Is there a problem?
What the heck is? It's so strange.
You weren't hearing an echo backstage, were you?
No, not at all. Not until we hit start.
Do you have the tab open somewhere?
No. I still hear it. Oh, technical difficulties. I'll get it figured out. Until then, how you doing, girlie? You ready to talk about some depravity? Some
Doing okay.
narcissism?
This one was a little much, actually. Once we kind of like just dove into it, it was like, oh wow. Let's see. Who do we have here? Let's say hello to everybody. Hello, how are you? We've got Leonard Ghostal. We've got Thousand Men. I saw him somewhere in there. Somewhere. We got Dempsey. We had a little Miss Anonymous at some point. Meowdy. Who doesn't love crime show stuff? But there are different types. What happened? Where'd he go? I think he's fixing his issues. I don't know. He might be a while. If that's the case. So got Monkey Man. Hello. Dax. Let's go. Problematic White Guy. Welcome. MTV Steve. Foxy Moxie. Let's go. Ali Kusanagi. The gang's all here, guys. We got Bishop. Yeah, you know what? No, I'm not entertaining that. And just don't ask me the thing that I said not to ask me. Let's see. We got C. Rue. And we have
I found out what happened.
What happened?
So there was a tab open. I have no idea what the tab was for. That's not true. As I said, I realized it's the tab I was using to steal the link to pop it in various Discords, and I forgot to close that tab out. So found it.
I'm glad. I don't know if you heard me, but I said that you left to fix your issues, and I said in that case you might be a while. So
yeah, I was gonna say there's no amount of fixing issues. In fact, this show is probably going to create a whole lot more than because my God, this week's is rough.
Yeah, you were saying that you were having dreams about Scarface.
I did last night or the night before. So whatever night we watched the documentary, that following that night, he like Scarface was in my dreams, dude.
Was it a sexy dream?
Subconsciously soaking all this in.
Was it a sexy dream? Were you Leona in the dream?
If I was gonna have a sexy dream about Al Pacino, I'd rather it be like Serpico era when he's got the beard. I like beards.
The fact that you had that ready to go.
I didn't have that ready to go. I'm just good at improv.
Well, I mean, it's at the ready. I mean, it's, I think you've had some thoughts. But today we are talking about the TikTok famous, what is his name again? It's it doesn't.
Ali Alibaba. I'm gonna butcher
Abulaban.
the last name. Abulaban. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me bring something up here. So I think a lot of people had heard about it just because he was so TikTok famous, and it's not like we haven't heard the case of the spouse unaliving the other spouse when they've been unfaithful. That's kind of like a very old classic plot, right? Or reason for people, but this one seemed a little more complicated than that. And
well, it's not even that. I mean, it is more complicated than that, but there's also the the links that, because oftentimes when you hear, when one spouse kills the other, frankly, usually the man killing the wife, they go through such links to make it look like their lives are perfect because they don't want their neighbors or their friends or whatnot to know. But this dude did that for an entire several million follower group across the world. Like the links he went to make it look like the perfect life to an audience of millions is insane.
Yeah, let me so he went by Jin Kid, JINNKID on his socials, is that right?
Yep, that is correct.
Wrong spot. Okay, let's get it up here. I started using the Brave browser because everyone was like, "You can't believe you're using Chrome," and I was having issues, so I'm getting refamiliarized with my new browser. So.
I'm actually making the switch to Brave very soon. Bishop has convinced me.
Yep, good old Bishop. He also had some good advice about keeping different functions. Like if you have your work business that you do at your home computer, use a completely different browser so you don't have any oopsies.
I use a completely different computer for that. So I've got my streaming set up and I've got my work set up, and they're not the same.
CBS is punking me right now. There's the CBS San Diego. So do you want to give just kind of like a rundown for those that don't know the case, just an overview, and then we can kind of like
absolutely
some details.
Yeah, no. So run down the case. It's actually a really simple case on the surface, in that you have a traditional narcissistic, jealous, I wouldn't even say sociopath, but probably some sociopathic tendencies, who was overbearing and controlling to his wife, he was obsessed with her in an unhealthy, obsessed manner. And when he would take things too far, obviously it doesn't start with murder. You usually start with fighting, and then maybe there's some physical altercations. And eventually, the parties split up and somebody does something crazy, and he decided to murder not only his wife, but one of their mutual friends who he is convinced she was having an affair with. There is really no evidence to support that, but Ray Byrne was his name. He gets left out a lot of the topic when we talk about this. We watched a couple documentaries on it, one actual well-produced one, then one that was on YouTube. I've spent so many hours on rabbit holes reading through different news articles and different just everything we pulled from to get the information for today. And homie barely gets mentioned. I mean, I get why. There's years of Ali abusing his wife, and then out of the blue, it's almost like this guy, he was an afterthought to Ali as well. So of course he's an afterthought to the news and the reporting. Everyone focuses on Anna.
Right. And just for the record, let's bring them up. So she also ended up creating a TikTok. Do they call them channels over there?
I think it's accounts. I don't know. I don't use TikTok. I'm a, believe it or not, I'm actually a straight man. Contrary to popular belief.
Okay, sure. Whatever you say, Leon. Sorry, I'm just trying.
I just hate TikTok so much. I do. I like. This is sort of the perfect encapsulation of a true crime story for me to cover, because it sort of justifies my hatred of TikTok.
Yeah, so this is Anna, the wife. This is her account. She ended up creating an account after his success because she was included in a lot of his videos. Kind of just incidentally, like he did Skyrim videos, like this one.
This is actually the video that made him blow up.
Work might suit you. Hey, watch it. Something going on? Need something?
I mean, it's silly, but I mean, this was back in when COVID was happening and everyone was locked down. So everyone was creating accounts or finding ways to keep themselves entertained or entertain other people. He was always trying to be an entertainer. So you found his SoundCloud account. He was.
Are we doing that already? Okay.
He was trying to do comedy. He was trying to do music. He was
trying, because at least when look, I'm not usually one to shit on somebody's dreams, even if I think your dream is stupid. Go for it. Shoot for the stars. I like seeing people succeed. But once you fucking murder your wife in front of your 5-year-old, not in front of your 5-year-old, but ruining your 5-year-old's life, ending a life all in the span of a day, you lose your Leon will be nice about your dreams privileges. So this dude makes the most generic fuckboy music with no talent. So the way that he met Anna was he was in a band when he was stationed in Okinawa. And as I'm listening to the SoundCloud, I'm like, how is this dude? What have people seen this? Because the music is so. It's like if you went to Aldi's for Justin Timberlake.
Oh, I hadn't played it yet.
Oh yeah,
Hadn't
just
heard
like
it.
skip to the middle where there's like vocals, and we'll go through a couple of these. They are not good.
It's impossible to prove I love you so. I don't wanna see all the things I've done, cause it's in the past now.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
I could not believe this SoundCloud was still up, because if I was him, I would have well, it's your channel, so I'll be nice. I would have unalived myself well before my wife if this was the sort of music I was making.
Sammy says, OMG, so much talent.
Yeah,
Hell yeah,
it's not even that he's got a bad singing voice. The drums were improperly mixed. The audio quality, like it was bad. So the fact that she met him and was first intrigued by him, seeing him. Now maybe he's better live. I don't know, but he was playing in a band where he was stationed in Okinawa, Japan, because he is ex-military, and he is also.
And she grew up there.
Go on. I'm sorry.
And she grew up there, even though she's Filipina.
Mm-hmm.
She grew up there because her father family were in the military as well, right?
Yep, that is correct. And she grew up there. She went to school in Okinawa, Japan. He was stationed there. They met at I believe they met at a bar in Okinawa or some sort of nightlife event. They were both very young. They got married very fast. They got attached very fast. Red flags almost immediately to her friends that it doesn't seem like Anna really noticed. And a lot of that is probably due to his, not to make an excuse for it, but just like to lay out there, it's probably due to his upbringing. You want to explain his upbringing?
Well, he came from what everyone presumes was a Muslim family, but come to find out his mom was actually Christian. But culturally, they are, what were they from? Not from Jordan. Where were they from?
I think they're actually from Palestine. I could be wrong. I think they're from Palestine.
I think they are Palestinian. Yeah. So there actually was an article that I found that talked about his familial background, and people were like quick to go, oh, it's because he's Muslim and this, that, whatever.
I found the same thing. Yep.
He wasn't. But culturally there is something about the dynamic of, the wife is property, that kind of thing, added to the narcissism, added to his temper, because when he was stationed in Okinawa, he got discharged from the military, not dishonorably or honorably. He was just out because he got in a fight at one of the bars when they were out, and they kicked him out. And so he went back home, but he had already knocked up Anna, apparently. So
I knew it was around the same. I don't know. I didn't know when it was. I knew it was very quickly. She was pregnant when they got married. That's why they just went and had a sort of shotgun courthouse marriage. But I had forgotten that he had, like, the reason he had been discharged was for getting into a drunken bar fight, and that would go on to explain or like sort of foreshadow a lot of his much worse later tendencies when it comes to addiction. No sympathy, by the way. None whatsoever.
No, none. He has a lot of sympathy for himself, though. What about me, though?
The amount of times the dude brought up, even before the court case and the murder, like when you hear the surviving friends and his friends talk about him, he wasn't afraid to flex who he was in nightclubs in California. Be like, oh, don't you know who I am? I'm Gin Club. Gin Kid. I can get away with anything. Like, he had such a inflated sense of self-worth, and for the life of me, even if he wasn't a murderer, couldn't see where it comes from. I mean, yeah, he's a decent looking guy, but his TikToks were generic. His music was generic. I'm sure his parenting skills were far below generic, considering what ended up happening. Like, what does this guy really have going for him besides a good jawline?
I mean, apparently he had some sort of charisma. But I mean, as far as his content goes, it's not. I mean, also consider the times. Again, people were home. People were watching a lot of TikToks. TikTok became really popular around lockdown era, and the TikToks that he was doing, though, that started when they were in Virginia, because when he left Okinawa, he was shipped back to Virginia or West Virginia. One of the Virginias.
Just Virginia, I'm pretty sure.
I think it's just Virginia, yeah. And so she was pregnant. They got married. She and the baby came over when the baby was about 8-9 months old, maybe 10 months old, and he hadn't seen her since she was born. So there was some time that went by between them seeing each other. So their relationship went into overdrive really fast. There was distance and all the things. So she didn't really get to live with him, but apparently, according to the friends, there were signs that he was kind of scary and that he had a very short temper and he was aggressive. And she's like, oh, it's just because he loves me so much. And, he's
right. Yeah. She did Anna did the very typical thing that women do in these sorts of situations all the time, which is make excuses for red flags. And to be fair, based on what we know about the early parts of their relationship, he was a dick to her friends because he was possessive and controlling, but he actually did treat her very well at first. Now, aside from the controlling aspect of they've been dating for a month and he's already answering her phone and asking her friends, why are you calling? She's with me right now. Never a good look, by the way, dudes.
Yeah, no, that's not cute. But as the relationship progressed, they were in Virginia, and she had friends that she had grown up with in Okinawa that were living in San Diego at the time. And she really wanted to have friends because she felt really isolated, which is probably something that he liked to have her all to himself. She didn't have anybody to go to talk to, to get away from him, and he can keep eyes and tabs on her at all times. But considering that he was trying to break through to fame and Hollywood and all the things, he agreed that, moving to San Diego and Southern California would be great for his networking, making connections. He teamed up with some apparently great social media manager that really helped him skyrocket.
And to be fair, he was already doing well on TikTok while still in Virginia. He was already in these several hundreds of thousands, if not already crested 1 million while still in West Virginia. So the move to California is even more obvious when you realize that he was killing it in West Virginia or Virginia.
I mean, if you want to, this is killing it, but.
Oh, I didn't even think about what I said there.
Is that 6ix9ine?
Got him.
Nah, my name is Daniel.
You lying.
I don't know 6ix9ine.
What you doing, Skittles?
I am just trying to take a shower. You feel me?
All right, so let me see you one.
So I'm not really familiar with 6ix9ine. Is this even good?
So I'm not really familiar with 6ix9ine. If I'm being honest, I just chose this one because I thought it was very funny that he at one point did a TikTok where he is impersonating being in prison, and now I'm kind of hoping this happens to him in prison. So that's the only reason I chose this
Full circle.
Yeah, exactly. It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Leon does TikTok?
You wouldn't catch me.
Bust one of the little, skidamarinky dink dances, I have no idea.
There we go. That's the best you guys are going to get out of me because I'm white as fuck.
Very nice. Rainbow braids, red flag. There were others that were worse.
The Tekashi 6ix9ine thing is it was a big news story at the time. He was a SoundCloud rapper who, well, I've never heard. I imagine was still more talented than what we heard earlier. Who did some not good things. I don't really know what, but did some not good things. Snitched on some people. Went to prison. I don't really know what happened after that. It was one of those I don't know. Modern rap is not my bag.
Oh my goodness. So I first saw that Bush said, is she single? I thought he was talking about 69. He was talking about Anna. And then Dempsey responded, Bush, yeah, she's also dead.
Oh damn! Okay, we're off to a great start. If that thing is this story does take a lot of really dark turns, so the humor is actually going to be necessary. Otherwise, we will want to be like Anna at the end of this. It's gonna be bad.
Oh dear.
You undress.
If you could let me take a shower in peace, I would really appreciate it.
Oh, we gonna shower in peace, all right?
All right, so I'll make a deal with you. You let me take a shower alone, I promise I'll massage your feet tonight, but that's it.
Nah, I want to kiss you.
Ew, nah. See, I tried to meet you in the middle, but now you're taking advantage of me, and I feel threatened.
Man.
What if he encounters somebody who has seen these TikToks? And
I had the same thought specifically when watching this one.
no.
If I have to, I will call the cops. Okay?
You a bitch.
No, I ain't a bitch. Guys!
Oh man, he is
Hey,
smooth.
yo, come get this dirty motherfucker over here, man.
Say that shit to my face.
Nah, come get this.
Were you able to find any of him, because we are referring to him as the Scarface TikToker? I don't have any of those clips. Did you happen to come across any of those?
I may
Because that-
have. Give me one.
So-
if I did, I didn't post it because there was coming across his stuff is actually kind of difficult. But there are a lot of copycat accounts on TikTok now that are
This is
reposting.
his account.
Say that again.
This is his account.
Yes, so his official account is there, so he might still have some Scarface ones on there.
Okay, this one? No. Oh, here we go. So Scarface was his like favorite character, and people would send him on the lives, TikTok lives, whatever. Him ordering a pizza or just getting him to say like crazy stuff. So he was really invested in this character, and so a lot of the things that had happened later on were almost reminiscent, like he was still in character. It's what a lot of people have made.
It's also the only impression
observation.
he's actually good at.
It's pretty all right. Let's check him out.
So yeah,
All right. So what do you call yourself, tough guy, huh? ¿Cómo se llama? Antonio Montana. And you? What you call yourself? Listen, buddy, I'm the only one that asks questions around here, pal. Got it? You ever been in jail? Me? No. No, wait a minute. You got the wrong guy. So if you want a green card, you're going to need to take a test, all right, buddy? I hope you've been studying. Do I look like a guy that's studying? Come on. So let's hear the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, is invisible, with liberty and justice for all. How'd you like?
I mean, it's decent, but what is the demographic? Did you find that in your statistical findings? Like who his audience really was? Because he did the Skyrim, that was wildly popular, and then the Scarface ones were also pretty popular. But
so I didn't find. I would imagine his demographic is just the same as the traditional TikTok user, which is on the young side. And while Scarface is an older film, it's also one of those that's been sort of just immortalized because you can go to Walmart and buy Scarface T-shirts. You know, it's the movie is this. I feel like more people know the character but have never seen the movie than have actually seen the film. It's just sort of ubiquitous.
Sure.
So
yeah. So just to continue on with the progression of things. So he was doing his deal. They ended up moving to San Diego, and then she started hanging out with her friends. He didn't really like that too much. But he was working on his career. He seemed to get, I would contest this, but people have said he seemed to get more possessive or worse. It was just, he didn't have the opportunity when he had her all to himself. Right. So it was always there, in my opinion. It was just, now there are opportunities for him to show it. You know,
well, and not only that, but supposedly, I mean, you're entirely correct. But there was an instance that Anna was opening up to. I don't remember if it was the male friend or one of her female friends, but basically he had actually been hitting her. Cops are called. She's bruised up. I did put the information of that in the doc. So cops come, take pictures of the situation. Obviously, her friends notice the bruising. And she opens up to them and says, this has been happening since Virginia. Now, how long in Virginia, when did it start? I don't know. But at least the physical abuse was going on even back in Virginia.
Yeah. So actually, I'm going to skip ahead in the doc to when he took the stand. I'm sure his attorneys didn't recommend that, but they can't make you not. Right. So let's see. Move you over here. Get bigger. There you go. Okay.
That they are referring to is when we would go out to these clubs. I was just trying to answer.
Okay. Next question. You heard them testify about things that you said and things that you did, that they say that they observed. Is that right?
Yes.
And in your memory of going back, don't speculate about what you think they thought.
Oh.
No.
Talk about what the things were that you were doing with Anna or saying to Anna that they may have witnessed.
That's what I was just gonna do. I was just gonna.
Okay, so this is once they moved. The friends observe things.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, because she was completely isolated in Virginia. She had literally no friends there at all.
Mhm.
Say there would be times when we're at a bar or at a club and it's 3 or 4 in the morning, and I would verbally say things like, hey Anna, maybe do you think maybe we can call it a night? Because I'd like to hang out with you before I have to go back to work.
I'm sure he said it just like that. Hey
Mhm.
Anna, can we maybe go? Because I really want to spend time with you, bruh.
Yeah, yeah, not. Hey, your friends are
Hang out
bitches.
one-on-one,
Let's fucking
maybe
go home. I need
talk
to
in
fucking
bed or
sleep
something, something
before.
like that, something intimate. They would get mad at me. Oh, let her, why are you such a party pooper? It's like it's 3 a.m. I have to go back to work at 8 a.m. It's like.
And in the way you're describing it right now, you're using a voice that sounds kind of calm and easygoing, but when you look back, do you recall using like a level of voice or a tone of voice that was maybe a little bit more authoritative, commanding?
Yes, to Anna, yes. I would be
A
like, hey, because in the beginning I would suggest it, but then it got to the point where I was like, all right, Anna, come on, it's time to go.
Were you getting frustrated?
Yeah.
He's so full of it.
We heard, in addition to witnesses testifying about those controlling behaviors, we heard from several witnesses who described seeing physical control and violence from you to Anna in the military. There were some general conversations about, seeing pushes and slaps and things like that. And there was a very specific incident that led to your discharge. Do you recall hearing testimony about that?
So those are 2 different things, but yes, for the first thing about like them me pushing her friends. Everything okay?
I'm sorry.
Everything okay?
Yeah, it was just some distracting noise. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So as far as the whole.
Oh, so by the way, this is the defense attorney talking to him. When he's on cross, or the prosecutor has their cross examination, he is not this calm and soft spoken. He loses his shit multiple times. So
Yeah.
this is
Oh, I
not the
can't wait to
prosecutor,
get to that.
Boosh.
The friend saying I pushed him. I don't recall these things.
Slapping
Her friends?
Anna.
I would never do that in public. I never did that.
I would never do that in public.
The ultimate tell, bro. Like that alone should have been up for the judge to be like, I've heard enough.
If there were times later in your relationships where you put your
I have, yes, but I never did that in public.
let me finish my question.
Sorry.
There were times later in your relationship where you put your hands on Anna. Is that right?
Yes.
There were times that you punched her.
Yes.
There were times that you pushed her.
But not in
Yes.
public.
Yes.
Yes.
There were times that you maybe shoved her,
Yes.
and that was focused in San Diego. Is that right?
Yes.
So when you were talking just now about things that you did in distinguish between public and private, those things happened. Is that right?
In San Diego?
In San Diego,
Yes.
in your home. Is that right?
Yes.
Apartment.
Yes,
that you
yes,
were in
yes.
this year.
Yes.
We are talking right now. We'll get to all of that.
Okay.
But right.
Okay. So it was really just, I wanted to show the Freudian slip, or it just doesn't seem to occur to him that, but in private, but not in public. Yeah, I did that. The last
Because,
time.
oh no, sorry, go for it.
Oh no, you go.
I was gonna say, because just to this guy, his image is everything. Like his entire brand. Even Anna himself was. I mean, she like. Don't get me wrong. He was obsessed with her. Maybe he loved her at the very beginning. I don't know, but that obviously, if we were even give that much of the benefit of the doubt, that faded quickly to the point where she was just an accessory for his perfect image. So, of course, never in public. Yeah, you wouldn't do that in public because that would ruin you, and you're wanting to be some celebrity. Like,
and
you don't get to hit women in public until you get to be about like Alec Baldwin level of famous.
Oh no. But they did present like they were the perfect couple. even though he was doing these things. They were having these fights. It was super toxic. And it was only once she decided to get out that, I mean, you could see it in the videos that she was in, that she kind of lost a spark when being a part of those videos. But like this one. I mean, this didn't hold up when your relationship is drama free. I think that was one that they used quite a bit. It's like, I get it. You don't want to air your dirty laundry or how bad things are to your public, especially if you're trying to grow an audience, but it doesn't look good in hindsight. I mean, it's really cringy.
Neither does murdering your wife. Which one is cringier?
No. It's cringy because of the murdery bit. That's all. Oh, man.
I'm sorry, continue.
Oh, no, go. I was just saying, oh, man.
Okay, so in terms of the friends interaction, he was talking about being testify. The prosecutor or the defense attorney was stating that hey, so and so have testified against you. There is a lot of hours. This was I think 4-week trial, so there is countless footage. I watched I think 4 or 5 different people, some that weren't even in the documentary that we watched, and every single one of them started off the same way, which is, man, he was so charming and charismatic until we actually became friends, and he was the fucking devil. And the consistent story amongst every single person is, again, that's enough for me to be like, I'm not going to trust anything you say, no matter how calm and soft spoken you sound on stage. We've just listened to 6 other people over the course of 4 weeks describe you as the Palestinian devil.
Pretty much. And also, anytime there's any level of someone who purports to be an actor, you kind of like scrutinize when they show emotion, and you also note when they're showing emotion inconsistently. But it's like, okay,
like when they're breaking character, you mean?
Yeah, well, like him during trial, he would get emotional. I think there was one time I saw a tear, but at the same time, knowing that he's a performer of sorts, it's like, is he performing right now? I think he is personally, but people like that don't have the awareness, or they think they are so charming and they can schmooze over anybody and get away with anything. They think it's effective. They think it's going to work, right? I can squeeze out a tear. It's going to be enough for them to, show mercy on me or take my side, because their defense, I mean, I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but we're going to go back through. So his defense team in the opening statements basically said she knew that he had a temper. She knew he was jealous, insecure. She pushed him to the brink and he snapped. So,
well, and that's one thing that was so amazing about this case, is that the defense team was not trying to get him off of murder, or off for killing his wife. Even his defense was like, oh yeah, no, he fucking killed him. It was just a matter of, was it murder or was it crime of passion, which would be very different sentences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's too many compiling factors or enhancements that kind of like, okay, well, yeah, it wasn't just that though, was it? Because where do we leave off? They moved to San Diego. She starts hanging out with their friends. He starts hitting her, by his own admission, in private, at least. Goddamn. So from there, they start getting in fights. Her friends are like, leave him, and all this, that, whatever. Kind of fast forwarding through, because the kid is 5 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Daughter's 5. And she says, I'm leaving. I've had enough. But he recorded a lot of their fights, and those were played during trial. He was recording her seemingly to go, see, she's the one. She's doing this. I'm telling her, I love you. I want to fix the relationship. His words are saying that, but his tone, his demeanor, and then him just totally flipping out and like yelling at her. Not hitting her on screen.
Also, recording implies that they're having a fight and he's recording it to like use against her or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's live streaming this. He is on TikTok live talking to his audience. He's like,
some of them were just recorded though, weren't they?
Huh?
He would do both. He would record.
Oh, no, he would do both. I just like that's an extra level of like, they would be in a fight, then he'd look over to his camera and be like, you see this fucking bitch that I'm dealing with? Don't ever get married, guys. Hey, what did you just say, whore? Like,
yeah. But which is weird because they were playing like the perfect couple when things weren't for a long time, and then he just went ham and was just like, just air all of
also
it.
she was never a legal citizen. Like up until her death, she was here on a visa, and his big go-to his every single fucking time was, I will get your visa taken away. You will get sent the fuck out of here. You're not an American citizen. I am. And then the gaslighting, when he would say things like, what sort of man would bring, a man that doesn't love you, what sort of man would bring you to this country to start a life with you? Like the level of just manipulation into forcing her into this relationship that she is not happy in, frankly, he's not happy in, but he cannot let go of because he's literally obsessed.
Mm-hmm. She was, I mean, the mother of his kid. It would be an embarrassing thing for him. Oh, by the way, he was also cheating on her with multiple people. Invited one of the neighbors in the building over to their place.
I got footage of her. I don't know
Big bag of cocaine. She still slept with him, but felt the need to tell Anna about it later.
Oh yeah, we hadn't mentioned the cocaine up to this point.
Oh yeah,
he is at this point he starts doing cocaine openly everywhere, in restaurants, on his own live streams, at the bar. Homie is just constantly walking around with bags of cocaine. Yeah, and how much of that is because the character that made him famous was the Scarface character, and what did Tony Montana do? How'd he die? Literally snorting a mountain of fucking cocaine. And so yeah, like I'm wondering how much of that was his method. Oh, let's get in the character. And I'm just, again, the guy was not a good person no matter what, but how much of the cocaine do you think exacerbated his mental decline?
Well, and he tried to use that as an excuse, right? I was addicted, and it, changed my personality, and it's very much a victimhood stance, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was susceptible to these outbursts because my addiction had me. It's like, yeah, but it's not working, bud.
Well, but not only the addiction having me, but also she was the only person that truly knew me, so she knew my triggers, so she would do anything and everything she can to get a rise out of me, and add the cocaine on top of that. Like he's at no point throughout the entirety of any of this confessions or conversations or cross-examinations did he ever admit fault in even one thing. Like when he comes in to do the fucking, the murder, and Ray's feet are up on the table, he says his feet are on my furniture. Like, you couldn't even say our. This is still you and Anna's house. In fact, you had given Anna the house, granted as a manipulation tactic, so you could go back in and murder her later. But regardless, you had given her the apartment. You couldn't even say our fucking furniture, you piece of shit.
Yeah, my couch that I put together, my furniture that I put together, my coffee table, my wife. He listed all of the objects in the room, and she put her in the mix. Not to mention, too, she was not being intimate with him because they were fighting. Mm-hmm. They weren't in a good place. She didn't want to have sex with him. And on those live streams, he would also call her out and say, "You're not having sex with me. A woman like you does not go a month without sex. You must be going out and screwing guys." And he kept accusing her of that constantly. We don't know if she was.
For how
There's no
long,
proof
by the way? We have no idea. The accusations of cheating, because this is such a... Because he was so good, and really she was good at it too, because they were both so good at hiding how just disgruntled their relationship was. We don't know how long any of these sorts of accusations or whatnot, because it's when you watch these documentaries or whatnot, it seems like that is all not long before the murder. But that could have been, I mean, their daughter's 5. That could have been happening for fucking 2, 3, 4 years. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm dropping a link for you in the private chat. I know it's on our sheet, but I was wondering if you could share your screen and bring
Absolutely.
it up. Okay. Sure, I guess I don't need to type that to you in private chat now that I just said it. Anyway. So that's the first article from CBS 8. I figured.
Yeah, I read this article. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
You want to read through the article or just play the video?
Whatever you'd like to do. I'm going to be right back. So,
sure. All right. We will. I'm not going to disable my ad blocker. We're just going to refresh. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this, and then we're going to reopen the link because I'm not disabling an ad blocker. You guys aren't getting my money to talk about this son of a bitch. Beyond that, let's see how you guys are doing in chat while I'm pulling this up. Yeah, prosecutor tends to object the smallest thing in narrative and will get sustained because the defendant usually has little knowledge of the law. And you could, there's no real way of knowing how much this dude knew of the law because he is so narcissistic. He's the type that thinks he knows everything. So his knowledge will 100% be called into question. But yes, opening statements began in trial of TikTok star accused of fatally shooting wife, another man in downtown San Diego. Another man. Again, unfortunately, Rayburn, which I guess they do give him his name here, gets cut out of this a lot. So here are the opening statements. Whoops. I don't know that I can share it without your permission there. Yep. Well, okay, we'll share this when she gets back. And until then, just talk about the situation a little bit more. Leon show hair straightener. Yeah, the straightener is in my bathroom. Let's see, which is right across the camera. You guys can't see it. A month without sex. What ring of hell do they occupy? Yeah, that's another thing. Like, I don't know, for any of you guys that have been married or in long-term relationships or whatnot, like, don't get me wrong, you go through periods where you fuck like rabbits, and you go through periods where you don't. The idea that his mentality was because she had not slept with him for just a month, that goes to show just the deep-rooted insecurities these dudes have, which is pretty common in terms of, you know, these narcissists, these people who are so controlling. A lot of it's because you've either got the inferiority complex or the superiority complex. If I had to speculate as an armchair therapist, I would assume he had an inferiority complex that he would mask with a superiority complex. That's why he would say things at bars like he would whip out a bag of cocaine, do it on the bar, and when his cousin would say, "What are you doing? They're going to kick us out," he would say, "No, they're not. I'm Gin Kid," as if having a couple million followers on TikTok isn't going to get you kicked out of a bar for openly doing an illicit substance right there on the fucking bar stool. You at least go to the fucking bathroom for that shit. That's just common practice. And again, he would openly snort coke on live streams. The first time he did it, everyone thought that it was a bit, and then oh, perfect, here it is. So the first time he did it, people thought, no, it's all right. People thought that it was a bit, and then when it wasn't a bit, he had to do an apology the next day. Like it'll be good to apologize, but in the apology, he's drinking and driving. So that's how fucked in the noggin this dude is.
Hold on, I'm having technical issues myself. Oh, I have the tab open on my screen too. I'm like, where is the audio coming from?
I couldn't hear it, so I'm glad you could. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Ready to hit play?
Sure.
Apartment in downtown San Diego started today. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee. Let's get straight to our Steve Price, who was inside the courtroom today. Steve, you heard opening statements from both sides.
And Marcella, both sides actually agree on one thing, that Ali Abulabon killed his estranged wife and her friend. But as for why it happened, there are two very different stories.
Ooh, pause it for a second.
Absolutely. You guys got to hear gunshots there for a moment.
Yeah. So coupled with what you were saying as far as like the dry spell, or they were fighting, so they weren't being intimate, and him accusing her of that. Well, they were also going to parties and having friends around, and there was this particular guy who shows up again later, incidentally, who there's no evidence that there was anything going on with
again after this.
Fair. But there was no evidence that they had any involvement when this party had happened, and he said, "You're so lucky to have a girl like her." That stuck with him. That really bothered him.
It did.
Yeah, just to add to the whole, like, you must be sleeping with someone else. Who is it? Who is it? You know.
Yeah, it was a real Jesse's girl moment. So I'm gonna rewind a little bit because you hear the gunshots. Like there was a Ring doorbell camera from another neighbor in the apartment that caught everything. Caught him going in. Caught him sprinting out of the elevator to get into the house. And obviously you don't see the shooting, and we wouldn't show that even if you did. But you hear it.
Okay, wait. Because we didn't get to this part yet. like how it actually happened. So he moved out ultimately. She asked him to, she moved out. He said, "You come back, you have the apartment. Here's the key. You and the kid come back here." I'll go somewhere else. And he stayed at a hotel. Unbeknownst to her, he had made a copy of the key. It was like one of those card keys, right? He made a clone.
Yep.
So that he could enter the apartment when she was gone. He did that same day of the incident. He vandalized the house or the apartment, broke shit, made a mess. She had seen that, like, I can't let my kids see this. So she had asked her friend to pick up the daughter from school that day because she was planning on cleaning up the apartment. That he got in the apartment and he did this. She, that wasn't a hypothesis. He was the only person. But while he was there, he used the 5-year-old's iPad, installed a listening app so that he could listen to what's going on in the apartment at any time that he wanted. He hid the iPad underneath the couch in the living room, as far as I understand.
Yep.
So that he can hear the main living area. So
this is why it's not a crime of passion, by the way, guys. Like, when you go this methodical, he put a fucking spying app on his 5-year-old's iPad. Yeah, at that point, the defense of, oh, I was just so hurt that she cheated on me kind of goes out the fucking window.
And all of her friends knew that he carried a firearm on him all the time. So that was also a concern just in the background for everybody. And she's like, oh, no, he would never hurt me. He would never hurt me. So this whole hiding the iPad, listening in, he hears a male's voice on the app. He drives over there. Since we're talking about the incident, he flies over there, runs through the hallways, and the Ring camera that you mentioned captures him entering the apartment, and then the gunshots, like, immediately, within seconds of him entering the apartment. And they're sitting on the couch.
It's the Danny DeVito meme. He opened the door, I started blasting. Like,
Yep. Okay. Sorry.
No, you're good.
That was the defendant executing Anna and Ray. Cold, calculated murders.
Prosecutors say Ali Abulaban, known to nearly 1 million TikTok followers as Jin Kid, killed his estranged wife Anna and her friend Ray Barron during a jealous rage. Deputy District Attorney Taryn Brass laid out her case today in opening arguments. Abulaban faces several charges, including 2 counts of first-degree murder.
And he walked towards Anna and Ray on the couch. He racked his gun again and fired 4 more shots.
It happened October 21st, 2021 at the Spire San Diego luxury high-rise apartment complex in the East Village. Abulaban was no longer living there with Anna, but prosecutors say he continued to listen to his...
So, excuse me, Dread Pirate Wesley asks, was he at least drunk or something? He was probably high off his balls on cocaine, but there's no report of him being drunk. I don't know. Was there ever a toxicology? I mean, I don't know if you would do toxicology.
The toxicology showed that he did have the cocaine in his system, but I don't recall any alcohol.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you for asking, because I wasn't sure, Wesley.
Wife's conversations through an app he secretly installed on their daughter's iPad. Prosecutors say Abulaban heard Anna and Ray laughing, entered the apartment with a key that he said he returned but never did, and shot them, hitting Ray 3 times in the head and neck area, and Anna once in the head.
So, yeah.
Once in the head.
Oof.
Once. Yeah, and Anna.
One more time.
There it is. Okay, so,
there it is.
Yeah, comes in, blow right through the cheek, through the chest, and when he slumps, if I recall correctly, Ray slumped over Anna's body, and then one more back of the dome out the front, and
then one to her front,
and then
in the head and neck
one
area,
to her forehead.
and Anna once in the head.
Also, I didn't notice this the first time I was watching it. They used anatomically correct male and female models there.
3D renderings.
Yeah, I sorry, that was funny. I hadn't noticed that.
At the end of this trial, I will ask that you find the defendant guilty of 2 counts of first-degree murder.
Abulaban's attorney admits her client killed both victims, but says Anna drove him to the edge by introducing him to drugs, lying to him, and having a relationship with another man.
That's a lie, right? The introducing him to drugs part. Because I don't know if we ever found out how he got first introduced to cocaine, but she was straight, or at least she didn't do drugs so far as we know. So that can't be true. But I don't know how he
because
did
she was complaining in those fighting videos. She was complaining that he was using, like,
right.
and he was using all the time, a lot.
And I mean, she was a party girl. She was drinking and whatnot, but there's nothing that's ever been stated about her abusing any sort of drug.
No.
Anna knew Ali well. She knew exactly what to say and how to say it to cut him directly to the bone.
Oof.
She knew his underlying vulnerabilities.
Public defender Jody Green says this was a crime of passion and done without malice.
Ali felt like he was watching someone else move across the room towards Ray and Anna in a blur. Shots rang out, first at Ray.
That's also a really bad argument from the crime of passion standpoint, because even if it was a crime of passion, malice is still passion. Like I knew this dude back when I was an officer, and I think I've told you this story before. His child was raped, and he immediately goes to the individual's house who did it, opens the door, like knocks on the door, guy opens, shotgun to the chest. 2 years, crime of passion. There was malice there. He's pretty hateful that the dude would do that to his child. So when you try to qualify it, he did it without malice. To me, that's a retarded argument.
Yeah, so this is a tactic, right? Defense attorneys use it. I mean, both sides use tactics, and they use word salads, and they use things that sound scary, or make things not sound so scary by using the scary words. The jury, they're trying to either unload a fire hose of information at them. If they say enough of the big words, the scary words, maybe some of the little bits, there's some psychology to the way that attorneys approach how they address the jury. And they count on them not being able to retain everything. But if they can just even like drop some kind of like, but this didn't happen, it doesn't have to be proven in opening statements and closing statements. They don't have to present evidence to prove what they're saying in those statements, which has always been weird to me. They can spin it, they can talk about it a certain way, except for like making actual like factual claims, which I've seen them railroad over that too. So they kind of get away with a lot, I think, in the opening and closing, especially on the defense side in this particular case. That's a rough one.
And then at Anna. It all happened so fast, literally in a matter of seconds. He ran out of the apartment, mumbling to himself, speaking incoherently. He went back into the apartment and cried out, Anna, 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 still in shock.
Steve, this is the first time that we've seen Ali Abulaban in several months. What was his demeanor in court, especially when they played those gunshots?
Marcella, as we walked in, he was looking at all of us, didn't really show any emotion. Those gunshots were the first thing they played in court. I saw him grab those tissues, wipe his eyes. Other than that, didn't show a whole lot of emotion. By the way, this is expected to be a very long, emotional trial, 4 weeks long, in fact, and he could face the death penalty if convicted.
Now,
To be
this
fair,
this is California. He's not getting the death penalty.
no. There's been a moratorium on euthanizing inmates since 2006. So nobody's getting executed.
Now, is it a case where he could still get the death penalty, but they won't actually act on it?
Correct. So it'll just be life without. Yeah. Permanent resident.
So dumb. I hate that. I hate that. All right. Anyway, so yeah, there's the opening statements. There's the gunshots. And then from there, where do you want to take this? I know you've got other clips lined up. We've got other avenues.
You had the body cam one.
Yes. You want me to grab that, or do you? Let me see.
I have
There
that.
you go. You got it.
I get it.
Hey, nice to see you here, Cellulite Podcast.
Hey, Willie Will. I was just talking about you to somebody recently. About how amazing you are. No, it's good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Where is he? Yo! No, Will's great. He needs to come back to the show sometime. Actually, I need to get. Hey, if you're still here, Will, I need to get your lady on a stream for one of those round table parent discussions, or just a one-on-one. So put a bug in her ear again.
And also, Gal Pal Val, when you say why is crime of passion okay, it just illustrates the person is not capable of controlling themselves and will always be risk to society. So I think it's a bit more complicated than that. A crime of passion is usually in reference to like they're still going to serve time, they're still convicted, it's still on their record, but because it is in such a heightened emotional state, usually from something that is like truly traumatic. Again, so there's the example I used earlier of a child being abused. I won't say that word again. I forgot that we're on Moxie's show, not mine. Of a child being abused, like that's an instance where, hey, we have to punish you. You did kill somebody, but you killed somebody because of insert circumstance here that would break almost any human. So at that point, everyone is a risk to society. It's not just limited to that person that committed that crime. Everyone, I think I'd say in the chat, is capable of a crime of passion.
And it is typically associated with those cases where there is somebody who snaps. Like they see something, they go to the other room, they grab a gun and do the do, right? His planning and his manipulation and all of the surrounding factors make it not the crime of passion, right? So
that is entirely correct.
So apparently she had called 911 about a month before, a little over a month before, regarding a physical altercation with her husband, not her boyfriend, and saying that he had hit her. Now we had a question because one of the YouTube videos that we watched said that she had gotten a restraining order, but that's not true.
Yes, yeah. So she did not get the restraining here, and here's the bitch of the bunch. First of all, a restraining order unfortunately wouldn't have done anything because nobody knew he had a spare key. However, one of the things she was going to be doing that day after the house was ransacked, she was like, I need to clean the house up. That way my daughter doesn't see this. Then once the house is cleaned up, my friend is going to go pick up my daughter from school. I'm going to go get a restraining order. Like the day she was executed was the day she was going to be getting a restraining order. Again, it actually wouldn't have solved anything, but
no. It would just show that she was documenting it, but there were other means that it was documented, the abuse. Let's see. This is the timeline of how things progressed. Got to September 8th, made the 911 call reporting the domestic violence. September 15th, she had, let's see, on the elevator on the way up to her new apartment that she had just moved into that day, a 19-year-old woman met Allie in the elevator of the Spire apartment. So this is the one.
This is the final time he cheated when he actually told her, like, I fucked someone else. I bet I've been fucking people this whole time. I say final time because he was arrested not long after. So he's probably had sex since then, but it's probably been forcible and not, and he probably wasn't on top. He's a skinny guy.
I don't know. That commissary food and lack of cocaine has really caused his weight to go up.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Dude's looking a bit heftier. You're right.
Yep. That nose candy keeps the pounds off, apparently. This is not the one that I'm looking for. Can you find... Hopefully I didn't...
Sure can.
His body cam footage. The one that... Or is that on YouTube? Hold on.
No. I found it in one of these articles.
Oh, okay. Where they use the ram to open the door.
Yes. I don't know if I remember that part, but I remember the body cam footage. Like actively watching it. Let me try and pull up the.
Within one of the articles. It showed him crying when they showed the body cam footage when they first entered.
Here it is. I got it. Or at least I assume this is what it is.
Hopefully.
All right. Present. Share screen.
Good night, Pirate Wesley. Yeah, Garrett, but it was also the point she was trying to do something through the courts before going to the extremes. Yeah, she was attempting to get one. She just didn't actually get one, right? Or she was
a restraining order?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was. And also, I've got it up, by the way, just so you know. Here we go. Let's wind this back a little bit.
Back here in San Diego, a former TikTok star was back in court today for day 3 of his double murder trial.
He is accused of shooting and killing his wife and her friend inside a downtown San Diego apartment. Our Sarah Barker shows us what happened today in court.
And before we see what happens in court, note how even the news is reporting it as her friend, not her lover, not her secret affair partner, whatnot. It is widely accepted that now. She probably liked the dude. Let's be real. He was
liked
nice,
her.
charming.
She was
gorgeous. He liked her. according if Ali is to be believed, he heard the two giggling while on the spying app. But yeah,
He said they were kissing in another interview.
He did, yes. He said he walked in on them and they were kissing, and that's when he pulled the gun. But that's not true. That's part of his crime of passion defense. Is like, I walked in and I saw my wife kissing another man. Blah blah blah. Like,
no, he had his gun ready.
Lie.
He had his gun ready when he walked up to the door.
Mm-hmm.
Inside of the courtroom, we heard and saw some new evidence, including a 911 call that Anna Abulaban had made to police after Ali had begun to hit her during a fight that they had just weeks before her death. We also saw police's body-worn camera of them responding to that domestic violence call. And then toward the end of the day, a woman took the stand that Ali had allegedly had an affair with just weeks before his wife died.
Can you send the boy? Are you having a fight with a spouse or a boyfriend? Yes. And did he hit you? Yes. No.
This is a 911 call Anna Abulaban made after her husband Ali Abulaban had hit her during a fight in September 2021, just about a month before she was shot and killed. It's the same 911 call Anna was heard in the background making as Ali went live on TikTok to his nearly 1 million followers.
Oh, great. You were on the phone with police while I said that?
Dispatched to that call was San Diego police officer trainee Alberto Tapia.
Now, this also is not the first time police had been called there. In fact, they were called there prior during a fight, which Anna says it was just verbal and that he didn't hit her or push her or anything like that. Now, was she just saying that to the police because she, even when all this had escalated and when they'd split up, she was still actively looking after his career and trying to make sure that he didn't go off the rails, which is fucking sane. But she had called the police.
She didn't want to hurt the father of her daughter. She didn't want there to be scandal, and also still holding that over her head that she's not a citizen. So there were lots of reasons why she may have wanted to keep things cool.
She had called the police prior during a fight because he was showing their 5-year-old daughter, not only showing her his gun, but letting her hold it and showing her how to hold it. And the police were called. And in this instance, I guess the charisma worked out for him because they separated the two. And, Anna gave her story. He gave his. And there is audio footage. He's got his phone recording.
Is it this one?
That's not in this one. I couldn't find that one. That was in the documentary we watched. It might be exclusive to them because I couldn't find it.
So many.
I know.
Pieces. It's like, where was that one thing?
Yeah, this one was in the documentary. I was trying to find it and I couldn't. So I think this might be an exclusive rights to the documentary thing.
But also, by the way, it's the one on Peacock for anyone who's interested.
Yes. But he was able to talk the cops out of again arresting him. Now, yeah, a lot of that could have also been because of Anna stuff. But when you hear the dialogue between him and the officers, he's like, "No, I love her. We got into this fight, this argument. It was stupid and shouldn't have happened. But at the end of the day, I love her to death, and I brought her here from another country, and I just want us to make it, live the American dream." And he's like completely bullshitting this cop, but he's doing it with just this melancholy, somber voice. You can tell the cop is a young cop, and he's consoling him. He's like, "Man, sometimes couples fight. You guys should probably take a night away from each other."
And Ali said he would leave, but also she wasn't adamant on pressing charges at the time either. So
correct, yeah.
That's pretty common of a response for the cops to go, okay, you're not going to press charges unless there's outright like severe visible evidence. They're not just going to, they're typically going to separate the two parties.
Jay.
Well, when you said it, I'm like, oh, phrasing.
Sorry, continue.
You continue.
Oh yeah, I can hit play. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, that threw me off. That was really funny.
San Diego Police Department.
His body-worn camera is capturing a messy apartment and Anna's bruises and scrapes.
And he just went crazy and pushed me and had a scratch on my knee. And
Okay. Scratch on your right knee and then you got a scratch. Okay.
And I felt if I actually probably had scratches.
Anna's friend, Claire Binneman, who she lived with on and off in the months leading up to her death, testified that Ali had become more violent over the years and had a drug addiction.
He would control Anna.
and would say some remarks to more like degrade her.
On the witness stand, Claire broke down crying and talked directly to Ali.
And she would try to help you with money, and she would try to be there for you.
Also on the stand Monday, a woman who said she was 19 years old when she met Ali in the elevator of their apartment complex in mid-September of 2021. He had invited her inside. They drank, did cocaine, and had a sexual encounter. She says,
okay, so I've got to be a shallow male here for a moment. How the fuck you getting with girls like Anna and then you're okay with this gutter slut? Like, look at the fucking... Honestly, that's such a downgrade. He had to have just really been wanting to piss Anna off because that is not worth it. That or cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. And also, she'd probably be willing to do anything. And if he was hard up, he'd probably just want to go ham. I don't know.
Fair enough. Sorry, yeah, I was expecting because they live in this like San Diego high rise, this really nice condo. And so when he had an affair, I was like, oh, it was probably with some like gorgeous rich bitch that works like her daddy's a banker or something. And like, no, it's this chick that looks like she belongs in the game Dustborn. Like,
she does.
Right?
Oh, no.
Okay, we can keep going. I just wanted to vent for a moment.
Ali later asked her to lie to his wife, and she was scared of him.
The way he was telling me to lie for him made me feel like, if I don't lie, like something bad might happen.
What did you think would happen that was bad?
I don't know. I thought he could get violent.
The more friends that take the stand, the prosecution is really trying to paint this picture of how violent and abusive this marriage was toward the end back in 2021. We're expecting to hear from more friends in the coming days. And of course, we will be inside that courtroom covering the latest. Reporting in downtown San Diego, Zara Barker, Fox 5 News.
So yeah, there's the body cam footage of them coming and actually taking the photos of the marks he left on her. He was like the thing said, he was live streaming earlier that night. We also had that live stream. I don't know if you want to just like roll right into that since it correlates, but he says something in that live stream about the abuse that when I was watching it earlier made me so viscerally fucking angry.
Which one is that in the doc?
Let me take a look. See, and as TikToks, I've got it here somewhere. Well, maybe I did. Hold on, where did it go? This is gonna drive me crazy.
I cut and pasted a whole bunch. I hope I didn't lose anything.
You know what? This one was on YouTube though, so I will just go to YouTube and find it real quick.
Okay.
Give me one moment here.
Yep.
Until then, chat, you enjoying yourselves? You having fun?
Maybe he has a frost fetish. To be fair, it was like 5 years ago. So she could have been a totally different normal person back then. Feminism got to her. Before it was just cocaine and random men. Oh, or two. I don't have any standards. Unfortunately, all the girls I meet do. Sad face. Womp womp. Oh. Well, okay. So Cellulite Podcast was here earlier, and he says that he doesn't have standards. Men don't have standards. They have preferences. So maybe that applies.
That's actually a really brilliant quote. Damn, where was
He's
it?
full of them.
I know I had this because I watched it. Ah, here it is.
Huzzah.
Okay, so this is the live stream that he is doing, like as she is calling the police that led up to the cops coming over. He's live streaming to an audience of and only 121 people, despite having 1 million fucking followers. So I don't know. Maybe TikTok Live is just different, but it seems like people are not interested in his sob story or him falling off.
Fucking talk to me, bitch. Fucking taking away my whole life. I got a top secret clearance. You trying to fuck that up? Fucking bitch. Fucking talk to me. I'll bring you to San Diego for what? So you can run to your friends? Fucking bitch.
And his chat is so supportive of him.
This goddamn country. Name one man that would do that shit for you, bitch. Fucking asshole women.
They had to say hello to my little friend. Like it was a constant.
Yeah. While he is sitting there fighting with his wife, calling her a bitch, ranting at her, people are like, "Yo, do the Scarface impression." Like,
or are they saying,
are
or are they saying in response to her being a see you next Tuesday? Are they saying say hello to my little friend, as in kind of like egging him on?
Oh, okay. So they could be trolling him. See, I didn't take it that way just because he's. When I was reading these chats, it seemed like they were all so supportive of him. In fact, I put a Reddit screenshot in there. The one, so I was going through like I hate Reddit, but Reddit's really good for true crime shit. And so I was on a page all about this, and it was, I mean, there were hundreds of comments. I found one in support of him. This one right here. He's innocent. Don't let a hoe gaslight you, fellas. I mean, I literally read through hundreds of TikTok comments, and this was the single one. Yeah, Jay, Reddit is a true crime.
Absolutely. Oh, good grief. So when he was in jail, he did an interview with Fox 5. We don't need to go through the whole thing, but it kind of, I'm not sure how long after his arrest. Do we know? Maybe it's
Well, he's still skinny, or at least skinnier in this interview, so it's gotta be somewhat recent.
2 years ago. 2 years ago. So
2 years ago would have been 2022, and he was arrested in 2021.
Nope.
So.
They're calling it 2 years, but it's December 9th, 2021. So he's been in jail for about a month and a half.
Okay.
So, all right.
See first on Fox 5, a jailhouse interview with a rising TikTok star accused of double murder. Now, we want to warn you, the emotionally charged interview may be inappropriate for younger viewers. Now, you'll recall in October, a man and woman were shot to death in an East Village high-rise. The suspect is the woman's estranged husband. He sat down with our Kelsey Christensen while he waits for court proceedings behind bars.
Is her audio garbage?
Yes.
Sounds bad.
Ali Abulaban, husband, father, TikTok star, and also accused of double murder.
Did you kill her?
He's referring to the deaths of his.
I'm not familiar with Skyrim. Do they have blacked out eyes like that?
I'm gonna be real. I've played 15 minutes of Skyrim in my life.
Do they look like that though?
I mean, not in the first 15 minutes of the game. This is a question for the chat. Yo, I know some of y'all motherfuckers played Skyrim. Is this normal?
His estranged wife Anna Abulaban and her friend Rayburn Barrett. They were shot dead October 21st in an East.
Oh, Dark Elves, yes. Okay.
Village high-rise. Prosecutors say just days prior, Anna kicked Ali out of their home. So he installed a listening device on their daughter's iPad and used it to spy on his wife.
Yeah, I was listening on the house.
What up, Hypno? How you doing, bud?
So when you heard Rayburn's voice, you went to. I didn't recognize him. I didn't know who it was. But what were you thinking? I was freaking out. Oh my God! I caught her! Oh my God! Oh my God! There's a man! And then guess what? I hear nightmare. R&B music. As you're driving to the apartment.
So he's listening to the audio. He can hear a man in the apartment, can hear his wife, estranged wife. They're separated. They're on their way out. She's talking to a man and he's like, don't do it. Don't do it. He's trying to get there before they can, complete the coitus. And he's freaking out. And he's retelling how he was freaked out. I don't know. Is he so, is he one of those people? I'm betting to think yes, that actually believes himself, his narcissism and his ego and the stories that he tells, because I know some people that have a totally different perception of reality. They come away, like, say, from a meeting, they get something totally different out of that meeting than everyone else because they are all main character. It's going through a filter of what their truth is. And so, I mean, I believe that he was actually upset, but I don't think he was. And this is not a an insanity
No.
type of thing. It's just there's something. This is not normal behavior.
No, but again, the dude wanted to be an actor. Like I think that he knows he's being interviewed. This interview is going to sway in the court of public opinion. I think that he was angry. He did think she was gonna fuck another dude. But this is him over exaggerating and embellishing. If he does believe this, it's only because he has told it to himself enough to believe it. You hear a lie enough, it becomes the truth. I don't think that if this is the first time he's told this, I don't think he believes it. I think he believes a lesser version of it, and he is intentionally over amplifying it.
So even in this telling, where he's getting really passionate, he's crying. In what reality, him explaining this? I wanted to get there before they complete it. What was he planning on doing in this scenario? If we were to believe him here,
he was going to send his wife a strongly worded letter. Come on now.
Of course, and politely invite the gentleman to leave.
Palestinian handwriting with lots of symbols and hieroglyphics.
Let me be specific. Want to be down at? Never mind.
What happens when you get to the apartment? What did you think? What did you think?
Nothing. I didn't see that. I don't. It was a blur. And I felt like I was on the passenger seat of my own body. When I opened the door and saw what it was.
All right, so this is why, by the way, this is why I don't believe he believes this. What he's describing is the way it would be described in a fucking movie. Like, when someone blacks out and like, oh, I felt like I could see myself doing this. Like I was, it was like a astral projection, like that sort of thing. He's describing something that to me just doesn't seem like fucking reality.
Yeah. I'm not buying it.
Prosecutors say Ali confessed to both police and his mother that he killed his wife and Rayburn and accused his wife of cheating. Though at this time, prosecutors say Rayburn was just a friend.
I never admitted anything. Police say they have evidence against me. I don't know what that is.
So the prosecution says that you admitted to your mother that you did this, and then you pled not guilty.
Isn't that on camera? Did he do that in the hallway of the apartment complex?
Yes.
And that's on the Ring camera where he calls his mom.
Yep.
And there's recording of it. God damn it.
Yep. Dude is caught on. Well, I'm not gonna say 4K because it was a Ring doorbell camera, but dude was caught on camera. Just openly admitting that he did it.
And
Now
480 right there.
and to be fair, that alone could still be a crime of passion thing. Like if there weren't all these other extenuating circumstances, that wouldn't really be enough to be like, oh, after he just murder fucked two people, he came to a moment of clarity, and first thing you do, call your mom. Like that's.
Well, and there were other videos that he had taken. She was calling his mom, and she says he's doing it again. The mom is telling her to leave.
Yeah. His mom. So Ali's mom had been telling Anna to leave for your own safety. He's a dick to you. He doesn't treat you right. Like Ali's own mother was on Anna's side.
Mm-hmm. Gal Palval said, if people get arrested when driving drunk or high, then does their drug-induced state have any bearing if they commit murder? It's an enhancement. It makes it worse. Yeah. Oof. Yeah, it's the choice. Bad choices on top of bad choices. You don't get to go, I was not in my right state of mind when I did this thing. It's like, no, but that was also a choice. So you drive.
People have tried to make that argument, but they're retarded.
Oh, they try. It never works.
Can you explain that?
Okay. Akin to that, there have been many cases where a drunk driver unalive somebody, a pedestrian, let's say, they can get charged with first-degree murder because they knew that getting into the car behind the wheel while intoxicated shows that, I think typically they would charge them, but maybe it would be dropped down later on. But because the claim is you knew it was premeditated for you to get in the car or drink knowing that you were going to get behind the wheel, that you could put somebody else's life at risk. You chose to do that. So it wasn't that you intended to harm somebody, but the knowledge and lack of care for the choices that you made leading up to it. I know that they have at least charged people with first degree for DUI deaths. It's crazy.
No, I can't.
Little Miss Anonymous, that is very true.
Shortly after the shooting, Ali was arrested driving on the 15. Police say he had a gun and his 5-year-old daughter in the car.
She was with me when I got arrested.
Mm-hmm. Did you have a gun in the car?
I picked her up from school. I picked her from school.
So just to go back to what we had mentioned earlier, so Anna was going to clean up the vandalized home. So she asked one of her good friends to pick up the child from school. She got to the school, but he had already taken off with her. And she knew that something was off about it. So she tried following him for some ways and then, lost him. But she at that point was already kind of panicking and she couldn't get a hold of Anna to go like, why is he picking her up? Why does he have her? You asked me to pick her up. What's going on? But she couldn't be reached at that point. And she didn't know, but she kind of had like a weird feeling is what she said.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, she knew, but she was more or less she didn't know, but she knew, and she was in denial about it. And of course, when she pulls back up the apartment, she sees the cop cars there. Like it's at that point, there's not even point in being in denial anymore. But having his daughter in the car, that this is as egregious as killing your wife is. This part's actually the worst part to me. And
this
maybe
was a game changer for you when we were watching it.
This is what really tipped me over because he tells his 5-year-old daughter, who he is just picked up from school after he murdered her mom, I hurt mommy. And like that is, I rarely lose words, but I don't know what to say. That really, really fucked me up. Like I hate him. I hate this motherfucker.
But I could drop her off at a safe location at my dad's wife's brother, who lived an hour away. But police surrounded me on the highway.
Why did you pick her up?
I picked her up.
From school? Why did you pick her up from school?
Why wouldn't I?
But you picked her up early, correct?
Yeah.
Why'd you pick her up early?
Why wouldn't I?
Did you know what had happened?
About what?
Your wife being shot.
I'm the one who called the police.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a strange question. Did you know what happened? Because everyone's already acknowledging that he did it, right?
Well, to be fair, he has said literally just a few minutes prior, he felt like he was having that out of body experience or whatever. Like he was in the passenger seat of his own body. So I think she's asking that as a way of asking, are you cognizant of the fact that you're the one that pulled the trigger?
Okay. So she was going along with it just to get him to talk.
That's the way I took it. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's the way I took it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I know.
I found him. When I found him, my first instinct was to get my daughter for her safety. To drop her off at a safe location.
Now, am I wrong in hearing that he kind of flip-flopped at some point? Or is he just going off of that I was a passenger? Or did he also just outright go, I went there and they were already shot?
Yes, so he told both stories. Yes, he told a version of the story where he finds them dead and a version where he's like, I did it, but I wasn't in my right mind, so I didn't know I did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hate him. He's awful.
Oh, I know, right?
I wasn't doing anything. I have nothing to hide.
What happened when you found them?
Ali says he, Anna, and their daughter moved to San Diego in February 2021. He talks fondly about their old life in Virginia.
So we owned a home in Virginia. We had the American dream. We have 2 cars. Our life is great. So I
That hobby is his TikTok personality, Jin Kid. He made videos impersonating violent characters and built quite a following, nearly 1 million fans. He crafted his online persona after his favorite film, character, and actor, Al Pacino's Tony Montana from Scarface.
I'm just making my videos. I'm just full of everything. It's my craft. It's my baby. I love what I do. I wanted to be an actor. And I was right there.
He's auditioning right now.
Yep. It's such
A
a
whole
great way to
range
put
of
that.
emotions. Like smiling and laughing, crying, angry, pounding, yelling, smiling, laughing. Like,
But also, like, again, back to what you were saying earlier. He went from, oh, we had the perfect life, so I want to pick up this hobby. Oh, I want to be an actor. Again, it's what? 3 sentences about his daughter, a couple sentences about his dead wife. God knows how many minutes of me, fucking me.
Oh, it's my baby. Like, there wasn't as much passion when he talked about picking up his daughter. And like, he seemed very cold. Like, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? I want to keep her safe. But there was no.
Well, see, I think
no
that's
emotion
him. I could be wrong, but the dude obviously hates women. Like we've had, when you talk about like the way he interacts with the the prosecuting attorney, and so when he says why wouldn't I took that as he is trying to make her feel stupid for asking a question that should be obvious. That's a flex.
Yeah. Okay, so a little tangent downtown tangent town. So for my job, I had to go into the prison one day, and there was this correctional officer who I'd not seen. I'd only been a couple of times, and I'm like, I need to go into XYZ yard, and he's like, this is XYZ yard, and he just like sat there smiling at me. I'm like, well, do you need my ID and sign me in? No. I'm like, okay, so he was doing kind of like a power move, like to make me feel stupid. And it threw me off. It was like, okay, this is not protocol. This is not what normally happens. I'm like, you don't need me to sign in. He's like, I trust you're going to come back. You're not going to stick in there. I'm like, okay, so do I need an escort? No. I'm like, okay, can I just go in? He's like,
wait, fired. Like, the rest of it's him being a dick, but you're a woman in a fucking prison. Yeah, you need a fucking escort. That's taking even if it's a dickhead joke, that's taking one too far. Coming from the dude who believes there's no such thing as too far. But like, yeah,
it threw me off so bad. It made me paranoid about. To be fair, I'm in a state prison full of men
already in a pretty high stakes sort of situation.
Heightened alertness or that kind of thing. But him making me feel stupid and kind of throwing me off, which is what you said triggered that memory from a week and a half ago. Yeah, there's something to that, like to make you feel stupid.
I wonder, and I truly mean this. I wonder if that's a woman thing, or maybe it's an asshole thing. Because if the roles reversed, like I was in that position, I would think he was stupid. I'd be like, are you fucking retarded?
Okay, to be fair, he's a problem person because there's other people from my organization that have gone in, and then he's like, no, you're not on the clearance list anymore. Sorry, bye. While they were on the clearance list. So he's just an asshole. But I don't know. There's something about certain types of asshole guys that know they can affect people, whether it's male or female. I think women are more susceptible to it. And they do it just to either have fun with it. They think it's hilarious or whatever, but it's fucked up. I don't like it.
I will say it doesn't seem like reporter chick here did fall for it. If anything, she's complete power move right here. He's sort of eating out of her hands, and he thinks it's vice versa. So I'm actually really impressed with this whole scenario.
Yeah. All right, let's get back in. Sorry for that.
The weekend before all this happened, I was in LA at the Comedy Store. I was talking to producers.
Leonard.
I was about to have a talent agent. It was right there.
He says he and Anna grew apart after they settled in San Diego. He blames the move and their lifestyle choices for ruining their marriage.
That was part of the downfall because
ain't that the truth?
My wife brought us. She wanted me to move her out here with all our friends to a life where there's Taco Tuesday, Women Wednesday, Party Saturday, Bar Sunday,
Ali says Anna partied too much, but when we spoke to Anna's childhood friend and Ali's cousin, they painted a different picture.
Oh yeah, that's another thing, is that Anna was an isolated nerd girl growing up. The way she is described in the documentary and whatnot. Like, she actually didn't have a lot of friends because she was on this Japanese island living, going to school at a military base. Like, she was actually a really shy, awkward girl until meeting Ali.
Yeah. And then she had her glam up, right? Because there were pictures of her back when they first met. She seemed kind of like average girl,
Cute.
not average looking. She was always beautiful, but her glamorous.
But the way she would dress and carry herself, her demeanor was that of like a Zooey Deschanel, not a Anne Hathaway.
Sure. And all of her friends, are very normal looking people, average looking people. So yeah, it tracks with that was her background, and she still stuck close to those friends that she grew up with. That's all she had.
He's selfish. That's all I can say, is selfish.
Pulls out like a full bag of cocaine, not like a little bag, a big bag. And we're like, what the hell? You know, are you trying to get us all in trouble? He goes, I'm Jin Kid. I can do whatever I want. Nobody can touch me. I'm Jin Kid, you know?
And Ali, your family says that your social media fame changed you. They say that you were doing cocaine, didn't really care about the consequences. Are they right?
That's false. My family doesn't know anything because they never cared.
I asked again about his cocaine use.
Do you think that made you snap? Do you think it changed you?
Yeah, it messed with my brain. It made me violent. It made me like aggressive, you know? When I'm on it, yeah.
Prosecutors say Anna.
What about his aggression and violence prior to the habit?
Yep.
Back in Okinawa, what was that?
Or again, if we're to believe Anna's friends in Virginia, because he was hitting her in Virginia, according to Anna's friends. So
Anna
I was gonna say he was in that bar fight he got into. That's actually the first instance of us hearing about him having these violent tendencies. And what was he doing then? He was drinking. Seems like a dude who just can't fucking handle his shit. Not, I'm sure he probably wasn't exactly great sober, but definitely a dude who can't party.
Jay Goodwin,
really
stop questioning his patriotism.
All right, we can continue. Sorry.
Fucking hell.
Was planning to file a restraining order and that Ali has a history of domestic violence, something Anna's best friend confirms, even though Ali denies ever hitting Anna.
Were you feeling any remorse about this situation?
I'm broken. I'm devastated. I lost my wife. My goal was to just try to get a hold of my family. It was slipping through my fingers. I'm the loser here. I lost the love of my life. I lost the love of
You
my
lost,
life.
but you played yourself.
The way he frames it, and he's the victim. He lost. What?
No,
Not to
there
mention
are
his
two
daughter is
dead
basically
motherfuckers, and your daughter will never get to have her mother or father again. And you
she's
lost?
an orphan. This asshole.
Everybody I reached out to when I was going through this problem, when I couldn't get a hold of Anna. Dude, you gotta leave her. You gotta leave her. I know I gotta leave her, but I don't want to leave her. Dude, you're so handsome. You're famous on the internet. You can get any model. I know I can. I don't want to.
Bruh. Anyway.
Could anyone else have Anna? Could anyone else have Anna?
Not while she's married to me.
He goes hot and cold so freaking fast.
Is his right eyebrow not setting bothering you, or is it just me? This whole fucking interview, one eyebrow has been slightly higher than the other. Is that like a talent? Is it the angle? It's really driving me nuts.
Why you always lying? Okay, so I've had enough of that interview.
Yeah,
There's a lot. There's just more of that, and so
but it's important to know that at the time this was going on, the federal appeals court was rejecting President Trump. That's what it says at the bottom. So it's Fox, and
there you go.
I thought it was important to know kind of the current events of the political landscape at the time of this fucking double murder.
To prevent House panel from receiving White House records related to Jan 6th. Okay.
I'm glad you were just interested in that.
I was curious. I was curious. Okay, so there was also, oh, you know what? Let's bring up the Reddit posting that I thought was interesting. It was somebody, and I know Reddit's the devil. But this one, like, has anyone done any web sleuthing?
Is it the one about his mom?
Yeah, this one, they said
Oh,
they
yeah, I
found out
saw
that Ali
this earlier, but I didn't know if it'd be relevant, so I didn't put it. So I'm glad you found this.
has 2 sisters and 1 brother. His family aren't practicing Muslims and pretty modern in their lifestyle. His mother is Christian. Anna still has his family as her cover photo on Facebook. Well, Anna isn't managing her Facebook photo right now. Anyway, his mother was posting recent Facebook photos in the last week, and this was 4 months ago. In the last week of the trial, she has a boyfriend or husband, and Amira is the daughter with her.
Real quick,
So,
Jay, I can't tell if you're making a joke that I'm just too dumb to get, or if you're actually being serious. Like, I assume you're being serious, but knowing you, it could go either way.
it could be a tell for some people, but I don't think across the board that's one that I've heard of. The one where you look up and to the left when you speak is usually a tell. But the body language experts, you can't use that because it's not, quantitative or qualitative, whatever, one of the tatives. You can't use it in court. So while I follow and I watch some of those body language experts that watch interrogations or whatever, and they're like, this is indicative of this is indicative, oh, he's lying, you can't use that in court, even though it's entertaining. So
I had to watch one of those body language expert videos today talking about the vice president debate, and I would never consider using that for court, but like for entertainment value of something like that's a fucking dog and pony show like the debate, yeah, it was interesting.
But
I also used to like to watch the show Lie to Me back in the day about micro expressions, so
oh yeah, it's very entertaining. And also, as most everyone has finally learned, lie detector tests, you can't use those in court. Don't ever submit to one. Just don't. They can't use it anyway. It's just a way to push them, push further, or to like mess with you.
Yeah, it's a mental game more than anything. I've taken a polygraph before, not for any sort of legal purpose. I was asked to for a legal purpose once, and my lawyer was like, "Yeah, no, not happening." So that was cool.
So something that I thought was interesting. His younger brother Sammy was recently arrested for shooting at random cars with a gun 4 months ago.
So in the Reddit that I was going through, the one about like the case itself, everyone was talking about his brother because that was more recent news. They're like, oh yeah, that the apple didn't fall far from the tree. Check on their dad or whatever. And apparently, I don't know if it's true. People in the Reddit were saying that the mom and dad had separated, and mom had a new boyfriend, and that is why. And that was around the time she was being very distant from Ali. I don't know if it's true, but that's what people were saying.
Whoa. So, okay. So from the documentaries that we watched, my takeaway was he got in a fight and it was bad enough that they discharged him from the military. But this person, citizen of San Diego, was in the courtroom for 2 days. She was married when she met Ali to another guy who had also been in the Air Force. And Ali said she didn't tell him until she was pregnant that she was married to the other guy, who was also kicked out of the Air Force and had returned to the U.S. Ali was also kicked out of the Air Force after a bar fight where Anna got hurt. I don't recall them mentioning Anna getting hurt in that instance.
It definitely didn't mention she got hurt, although it might not matter. If he's not the one that hurt her, I don't really know that it would be relevant to the documentary.
Ali said she fell down the stairs, and others said Ali pushed her because he had said something about pushing her, but I wasn't putting it all together. And this was like, oh no. Okay, that's weird. Just saying.
This is
Because I
I'm
thought
one.
he was referring to pushing a friend of hers, but this
Well,
kind of
that's the question that was asked. I mean, the attorney said, "Did you ever push any of her friends or hit any of her friends?" So, I mean, that's what the
Strange.
prosecutor asked.
Strange. Yeah, it's like you said, you went down the rabbit hole today. I went into the Google Doc and like you had do like all these looks. I'm like, wow, you've been busy.
I was, dude. I was specifically. I was like, oh, I need to get some of his TikToks together so that we can show them on screen and whatnot. And just looking for I was like, oh, I can't find this particular thing I'm looking for. But what's this? And it would lead me to something else. And like, I think from probably noon to about 3, and then from about 5 to 7, I was like, just who is this Ali motherfucker that the documentary isn't showing us? Because I'm gonna be real, the documentary on Peacock is fine for giving you the information, but it's honestly really overproduced in Hollywood, and it's there's no real emotional resonance until like the last 30 minutes when shit goes the fuck down.
Yeah, they have a lot of filler stuff with like a private investigator, and then you have some like Rolling Stones writer that they kind of like did filler stuff as if the documentary was being presented to my mother, an actual boomer, like trying to explain social media and how the followers works and the influence and all that other bullshit. There was too much of that. Like,
yeah,
just give me the meat. Oh no.
Like, if you're into true crime documentaries, you will probably find this one satisfactory. But again, it's just, I don't know. I didn't feel anything until near the end when all the shit's actually going down. Like, because when, oh, look, this TikTok star is doing cocaine and being an asshole to his friends. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's every TikTok star. Like, what makes him special? Like, aside from the whole killing his wife thing.
Aside from that.
And Ray. Poor Ray.
And we always forget him. That's so sad. I was doing the tags for the video and I was putting their names in the I'm like, God damn it, I forgot him again. I was like, no. I'm sorry.
To be fair, I don't know if the tags would have helped that much. If you forgot, no one else is remembering him either. So it's not like you're going to type in his name and find the video.
Ooh. But
sorry, Ray.
I didn't want him to feel left out. Just,
And he got the worst of it, honestly. He got 3 fucking shots. She got 1 clean shot to the dome. Outski.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I think we talked about this when we were watching the documentaries. He had shot like 2 or 4 times, which doesn't make sense because Ray was shot 3 times.
Yeah,
right?
He shot 4, racked it, and shot 1 or 2 more. And the question we had was, why the fuck did he rack it again after 4 shots?
Is that part of his like method acting or getting into thing? Like, it's kind of like you didn't need to rack it unless he had a jam.
Yeah, maybe, but I would think I feel like that's something that's actually pertinent information. Is if he had a jam, that's a moment for Anna to, even if it's a brief moment, that's a moment for a change in the scenario, or like I don't know.
Yeah, she would have. I don't know.
Did he have multiple magazines that just none of them were filled, or like
I was gonna make a really bad joke. It didn't form, but it was gonna do like, why didn't she do a leg sweep and like pull out like the Kia? Guns jammed. It's your time, girl. No,
I mean, she's Filipino. She probably did kung fu.
But it was weird that they mentioned that in the documentary, that he racked it after shooting. It was like, why though? And they're just like, oh, gloss over that, no big deal. But no.
But that means like, so he shoots 4 times, 3 of them hit Ray. That means one of them's a stray, hits the wall or something like that. Whatever. Does he know in the moment Ray is dead? Rack now for like switching targets.
Now it's Anna's turn.
Yeah, like that's the only thing I can come up with.
But he didn't need to do that.
I agree he didn't need to, but like I'm wondering if it was like a like you were saying, like an acting thing, or me a thing up in his head, like, okay, this is the trigger, like
this is
no
the motion. You do the thing before you shoot.
Right.
Okay. He was a military dude. He should have known better.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, we don't actually know much about his military record beyond being kicked out. Like, how?
True.
What did he even do in the military?
I don't know what his role was, but he was Chair Force.
Yeah. Well, Branch was Air Force, but I don't know. I was curious, like, what his actual, did he fucking work on planes? Was he, was he a mechanic? I don't think we ever found out, at least from the documentary, what he did.
Why do I assume he didn't have one in the chamber? But why did he rack it after 4 shots? And we had this discussion because we are in California. We have 10-round mags. That's our limit. So based on
That's
that,
so fucking stupid.
presuming, I know it's really, really gay. So based on the presumption, he went there with a full mag, a full clip, right?
You're actually asking. I thought it was a rhetorical question.
No.
Yeah, that's
no.
what I
We
would
talked
assume.
about this. So I would presume I carry with one in the chamber personally, because in
Everyone
the case that I'm
should.
actually going to need it, you need to have it. You don't want to have to that fractions of a second to rack.
Right.
So no, I'm not presuming he didn't have one in the chamber. What I'm saying is, why did he rack again after like 4 shots? That's all.
Yeah, it was just a really strange bit of information to throw it. Like, of all the questions we have, yeah.
Why did they mention it at all? Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Johnny. He could have had a jam, but in the documentary, they mention it as if it's important,
as if it's a legitimate, important piece of information. They don't mention a gun jam. There's like here's how the documentary lays it out. He entered the building, shot 4 times, racked again, then shot 2 more times, and then they just keep going. Like, it's just such a weird way to phrase it, as if it's an important detail.
Right, but they mention it because you can hear it. Because Ali was recording. He had his phone in his pocket. He didn't record the video. You couldn't see him actually shooting them, but
you can
the
hear
audio was
everything.
there. It wasn't just the Ring camera. He was recording when he went there. It was in his pocket. You could hear him make small talk in the elevator going to the apartment with some rando. He filmed, recorded the entire thing. So they could hear him rack, because otherwise you're like, how do they know? He was filming once again. This fucking retard. Like, if you're gonna go commit crimes, don't be this guy. Anyway, so we are winding down to the recent times. So he was found guilty of 2 counts, first degree. And this is prior to his sentencing. So this is at the point where he gets to make a statement. He gets to address the families, which is weird. I get it. At the same time, I get it, but it's uncomfortable. Jake Goodwin, live streaming your crimes. Don't do it, kids. Yeah, please don't. But actually, you know what? As a person that exists on the internet and covers these things, maybe. No, don't do the crimes. I'm not encouraging violence.
If you're going to do an egregious crime, live stream it so that we can get in and out and just wrap this shit up before lunch.
But okay, a little side trip. I was living up in Northern California. We were living up in Northern California, and there was this dude barricaded himself in some apartment, live streamed himself with 2 unalived women. One was actually underage, like 15 years old. He barricaded himself in. SWAT had to go in and like take him out and stuff. The people that live stream the actual bits, it's wild. I'm surprised they don't make more news than they did.
Well, I mean, my guess, I don't know how explicit was the live stream, because I mean the nudes can only show so much due to like FCC regulations.
Yeah, well, okay, so they were already unalived. They were just kind of propped up behind him.
Right, but I mean, like if they're unalive, but like strip nude and there's bullet holes in their fucking noggin, like Fox.
Yeah, I
7
mean, we
ain't
didn't
gonna
get to
show
see that, so, but yeah. Anyway, don't do crime, kids. Okay, so this is the point prior to the victim. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. He speaks before being sentenced to 50 years because there are 2 consecutive life sentences, which are 25 to life. Usually you get the lower portion, especially in California. Actually, if you do good and you get points off, you get out sooner than that. So the judge said,
even WOP, because he's WOP.
Right. No, he's toast.
Okay.
He's toast. But
Do they
I
eat toast in
personally know.
Palestine?
Pardon?
I said, do they eat toast in Palestine? Sorry, continue.
Oh my God. But I personally know 2 individuals that unalived 2 people, and they served no, they've got out 4 years ago. He went in when he was 17. So just under 30 years, and free because they participated in work programs and this, that, whatever. You get out early. California wants the inmates to get out. Oh, sorry, incarcerated persons. Can't say inmate anymore. No, persons affected by the justice system is also another phrase.
You live in such
Not
a
even
fucked place.
It is clown world.
All y'all listening, come to the Midwest. We do our shit right. You either in prison your whole fucking life, or we just murder the motherfuckers and don't talk about it, and the cops are like, high five.
And everyone hates it. Like the people that I communicate with at the prison, they hate it, but they have to use the newspeak. And I'm like,
You want to know what the average clip you go into the fucking Academy Sports and buy yourself a fucking gun? You want to know what the average clip is here? 18. That's average.
It's very sad to
Fucking
see my
10
AR with a
shot.
10-round mag. It's like this little shorty. It's like, that's sad. Anyway, so this is him speaking to everybody before he's actually sentenced by the judge. So I'm going to step away, but I'm still listening, and we're going to listen to this douchebag. Are we? There we go.
Good morning, everyone. In a situation like this, there really isn't much a person can say that can help make things better. Losing a loved one to senseless and unnecessary violence isn't something that anyone should have to go through. And yet it has happened. And here I am being the reason why multiple families have had to experience it. I can't say that I'm proud of that. Throughout this trial, many horrific things were displayed. And as we sat here for weeks having to endure some of the most disturbing audio recordings and video footage, I sat there in silence, listening, watching, and being reminded of the worst moments of my life.
Yup, bingo, boosh,
Having to hear
bingo,
my
bango, bongo.
the most vile, shocking, and hateful things to the woman I love was not easy. In fact, I couldn't help but at times close my eyes and cover my ears, because that's not who I am. My behavior was disgusting and completely unacceptable. So when the time came for me to take the stand, I tried as best as I could to help make some sense of all this. To explain that everything you all saw in the last few months leading up to this incident was a horrific result of the tragic downfall to a once beautiful relationship. But even so, in those 3 days that I took the stand, I was able to share and say a lot of things, except the one thing I wanted to say the most.
You're muted, just so you know.
I tapped it too many times. So nope. Okay, see, he's referencing the time he took the stand, right? Let's see him on the stand for just a moment.
Ali Boulevard took the stand in his own defense for a 3rd day in a row.
He's admitted to shooting and killing his wife, Anna, and a man she was seeing, Rayburn Barone, inside the Spire Apartments in October of 2021. And today, the cross-examination...
You know why you were gone for a reason.
Zara Barker starts us off live from downtown. Zara.
Thank you, words. You didn't have to do
Andrew
that.
Maria, in just
That
the
means
last
world to me.
45 minutes, Ali Abulaban is now done testifying in this double murder trial. As you said, this was the 3rd day in a row that he has been on the witness stand, first being questioned during direct examination from his attorney.
I'm not being facetious, by the way.
No, I didn't think you were for a moment. Although
Okay, I just wanted to put it out there for anyone else who may have thought I was being kind of shitty. I'm not.
No, to be fair, even if you were, that'd be funny. But Dempsey, I had the exact same fucking thought. For someone that's supposed to be an actor, he is doing a horrible job reading his lines here.
Fair. Same, LMA. Okay, so he's talking about, I had the opportunity to share and all these, right?
his attorney and then being cross-examined from the prosecution. Today, he has been the most agitated on that stand.
I don't get the. I'm not going to tolerate this.
Day 12 of former TikTok star.
How often do we get to see a defendant who has admitted, basically, it's not a whodunit, it's not if he did it, it was the degree, right? I'm not going to tolerate this. Bitch, you're in a court of law. He still acts like he owns the room.
Well, but that's the beautiful thing about this level of narcissist is that they are so easy to fucking hate. Like you see some of these true crime stuff. Like you and I have had opinions on. Like for example, we have a very unpopular opinion about Charles Manson. For example, you see some of these true crime stuff, and you're like, oh, but I can fucking get it. But then you watch something like this, and you're like, nah, castrate him, then burn him alive. Like fuck this dude.
Fire up old Sparky. Let's go. Okay, let's see him.
Star Aaliyah Boulabon's double murder trial.
I'm not here to twist anything. I have nothing to hide.
He spent more than 15 hours being questioned on the witness stand.
You were looking up trash cans because you wanted to hide some bodies, correct?
I'm sorry. You're out of your mind.
During Thursday's cross-examination, it seems Deputy District Attorney Taryn Brast is getting under his skin.
You were also researching teen porn videos, correct?
What? What did you just say?
That's what you were researching, correct?
Say it again?
Teen porn videos.
You're out your mind.
On October 19th, you were...
Why doesn't the judge, like... It's weird. There's certain things that had happened also, which we'll see, and we're going to go a little over 2 hours today. But what you'll see as
Dempsey,
far as...
Fucking facts. I love that comment. Sorry. Fucking facts, Dempsey. Love that comment. And Kiernoth, I agree. Ted Kaczynski's another good example. Charles Manson's a great example of using charisma as your main stat. Sorry, continue.
You were researching Sean Torres, correct?
Show me the teen you just said. You want to paint me as some kind of child molester? Show me show me what you just said. I've never seen that in the discovery. I've been incarcerated 3 years. You never showed that to my team. Where did you get that?
It's in your phone.
Show it.
You researched Sean Torres on October 19th.
Show me what you just said. You were not going to breeze over that. You're not going to paint me as something I'm not.
Brast questioning Ali about his emotional response the day before when he recalled the shooting.
Not a single tear fell from your eyes. Isn't that right?
I wiped a tear off this table.
The defense now planning to review the evidence and talks of a mistrial after this question from Brast.
You told inmate Brian Edwards that you killed your and the man she was with, correct?
Who is Brian Edwards?
You said that to Brian Edwards, correct?
I'm going to have to, can we talk? Because I don't know what this is about. We're talking about inmates now, like an informant? What's going on? We've never had this conversation.
Mr. Boulabon.
I'm okay. So having blonde white women as your public defenders or going with them was a tactic for sure. I'm sure he freaking hated it at the same time because we've already established his
probably
feelings
the
on.
smartest thing he has done in this entire incident, though, is get 2 career women to represent him. They were also public defenders, though, which is another thing that you and I talked about. What the dude could afford a fucking high rise in San Diego, but can't get a real fucking lawyer. Like,
where's that TikTok money?
Again, there's so much about this that doesn't make sense, but I don't care about him enough to want to actually fucking know.
Bush says, ooh, and an inmate jumped on his case. Yeah, everyone is looking when you're in jail. They will snitch on you because it means if I snitch, I'm going to get a deal, right? Oftentimes. I've watched like 2 other cases in the last week where somebody, while they're sitting in jail, awaiting their time, another inmate, incarcerated person affected by the justice system, they call up the officers and go, I have information. Just saying, don't talk to anybody. Also stick with your race because that's apparently
look who you're asking not to talk. This dude is incapable of not shutting the fuck up.
Oh, you'd be screwed.
Actually, I've been to jail plenty of times. I'm actually really
joking. It's a joke about you not being able to shut up.
But you're right. No. I would get my ass beat. I'm fucking tiny. I got self-preservation, motherfucker. I don't know.
You got a purty mouth.
I really do.
Oh my God.
Answer my question.
And because of that questioning that you just heard, Ali's attorney, Jody Green, asked the judge in this case for a mistrial. He denied it. She said she's going to be going back through some evidence tonight, printing out transcripts and going back to what the prosecution was talking about. She says that she may be asking for a mistrial once again tomorrow.
Yeah, they asked for one. It was denied. Spoiler alert. And then
by the way, did you ever find out? Because I didn't. I looked and I confirmed the sentencing was delayed, but it was never, because he was supposed to be sentenced in June. The reason we're covering this case, by the way, guys, is he was just sentenced less than a month ago. The sentencing was supposed to be in June, and it got delayed. But I couldn't find why. I don't know. Did you ever find out why?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Just curious.
But often that's the case with when it comes to the state, when it comes to the court system, things get delayed all the freaking time. Judge has a surprise vacation or whatever. There could be a multitude of reasons. I don't think necessarily it has to do with any sort of fault or whatever with the decision. There's nothing they could have done at that point. I mean, it's done. I think it had to do, if I were to guess, because this is often the case, just administrative conflicts or unavailability or something like that.
Gotcha.
Things get pushed back all the freaking time. Angry Badger's in the house dropping memberships. What the heck?
That's my boy right there.
You get a wow. I don't have a Zelda chime, but you get an anime wow.
Bingo, bango, bongo means the world to me. You didn't need to, but you did. Thank you so fucking much, Badger.
He said the thing. Thank you. That's awesome. I need to update my outro now. Damn it. I'm trying to do a thing where I put all the members in there.
I update mine like once every 2 months because it just gets to be so much.
So wildly popular.
I'm gonna have to extend my outro by like an additional 50 seconds. It's because I made it and I was like, oh look, 40 members, no, 131. Okay, I'm gonna need to use new music and extend images. It's gonna be a fucking thing. So,
Boosh, member for 2 months. You need to do more streams like this. Well, that's why we increased it from once a month to twice a month, the first and third Thursday of each month. So heavy flow. That crime of the month happens twice now. So you're welcome. And thank you, by the way. This is fun. I love it.
I have a blast. All right, let's see this douchebag in action a little bit more.
A little bit more.
I am so incredibly sorry to each and every one of you who have been affected by this. I cannot imagine the pain that I've caused your families. I saw the look on all your faces and the tears in your eyes, and I hate that I'm the reason for it. On that day of October 21st, 2021, I was in the worst physical and mental state of my life. I was sick, suffering from an untreated severe mental illness that was combined with a crippling drug addiction, which put me in a state of a drug-induced psychosis.
What mental illness was ever established?
I mean, is narcissism a mental illness? Or is it just a personality trait?
I don't think it's in the DSM-5, but
neither is being a tranny anymore, so you know.
It's a flaw.
Psychosis. My response in that moment was an unintended, impulsive reaction against my better judgment to the discovery of Ray's romantic involvement with my wife. And for that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that in that moment, I was not mentally strong enough to control myself. I'm sorry that my horrendous action that day resulted in the undeserved deaths of Rayburn Barone and Anna Marie Abulaba.
It's asholio compulsiva.
Were you doing a Hermione Granger right there?
It flopped. Anyway.
No, I picked up on it. I just wanted to...
Yes, that's what I was going for. Asholio compulsiva. Anyway, whatever. I'm so retarded.
my partner, my best friend, the mother of my daughter, and the love of my life. I am ashamed of what took place. I am devastated by the damage that I've caused to Anna's family, to Ray's family, and to my family. If I could undo all of this, I wouldn't hesitate. If I could go back to that day, I would have left for LA first thing in the morning as I had originally planned. I would have given Anna the space she wanted, and I would have used that time to focus on getting the proper help I so desperately needed. And I would get on my knees and beg Anna for forgiveness.
But he would film it so that everybody can see it to show how amazing he is.
Forgiveness for becoming distracted, for letting my anxiety and my insecurities affect my thoughts and my behavior towards Anna and towards her friends.
Dempsey, 102. The delays in the sentencing of former TikTok star Ali Abulaban stemmed from a request by his defense attorney. The defense sought more time to hire a prison expert who would help prepare Abulaban for his upcoming life. What the fucking California commie bullshit is this? This request was granted by the judge and the sentencing was rescheduled to September 6th. Okay, another retarded thing about California and the prison system. Basically, as an inmate, you get pamphlets and flyers of available prisons. And
So it's like picking a fucking college?
In some instances, maybe not all of them, you get to petition to go to one facility over another based on like your family's location or whatever, which that portion kind of makes sense. However, the way it was told to me and presented is that they have flyers and brochures of the amenities and the this and that. And I'm like, I fucking hate it here.
You mean this one got a fucking hot tub? Let's go.
Yeah. Transfer me now. But okay, but typically incarcerated persons, inmates, they don't want to be moved around a whole lot because the first thing that happens is you get fucking jumped. No matter what. That's going to happen. If you can kind of like jive enough with the people around you and you're not getting like, you know, assaulted and jumped all the time, you don't really want to move from that spot. If you can help it. But yeah, that whole pamphlet and like advertising the amenities, I'm like, oh no. No.
Dude, California is straight cancer, dog. Like,
I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but I mentioned it maybe in one of my Saucy Rebels or solos. So there is a facility in what is the Johnny Cash did a prison performance a long time ago. Folsom, thank you. I knew it. I just my brain.
Got you.
My brain cells aren't holding hands right now. So up in that area, they're going to be opening up a facility with an experimental program based on the Norwegian model that is basically
you
dorms.
and I did talk about this. Yeah, sorry, continue.
I couldn't remember if it was on stream or if it was just in Discord or something.
I don't remember either. I just know we've talked about it, but yeah.
But I hate it. Like, I hate it because it doesn't specifically say low-level offenders, non-violent offenders. It's just we're gonna try this out because it's so successful in
you get a rehabilitation.
Norway.
You get a rehabilitation. You all get a rehabilitation, even if you fucking put a bomb on a bus full of orphans.
Yeah.
It's a really specific crime. I don't have a fetish. Sorry, we can continue.
Forgiveness for using cocaine as a remedy and becoming addicted because of it. For neglecting my responsibilities to you, Anna, as your husband, and my responsibilities as a father. And for allowing the drugs to turn me into a pathetic empty shell of the man that she fell in love with.
The drugs did it.
Because of those factors,
you know what? At least whoever wrote this for him was smart enough not to blame her, because that was his whole defense. Was it's her fault that I shot her in the fucking face.
Yeah, I guess they figured once they got the guilty verdict that wasn't a good angle. There was an opportunity for some trajectory jokes in there with the angles, but you know, brain cells not holding hands.
I am so
I was distracted by the bird.
Every one of you who have suffered.
Oh, Burby. Hello, Burb. So yeah.
Take care of some.
God damn it. All right. So there's one more, and then we can wrap it. This is the sentencing and then the impact statements. And the impact statements portion was very lengthy, so I opted to go with the news highlights portion. Drugs don't kill people. TikTok does. Fair. I mean, have you watched streams of dust porn? Why is it when leftist commie BS happens, it's always coming from Norway?
Dude, I'm telling you, Scandinavia is just like, is the worst part of the world. I know there's slavery still in Africa and shit. Scandinavia is the worst. You want to know why I'm not a white supremacist? Because it's all white people in Scandinavia fucking shit up. That was a joke I hope was allowed. I don't know if I took it too far. And if I did, I apologize.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's fine. Okay, so he was just sentenced this month. It wasn't even a whole wait. Okay, we're in October now. Whatever.
No. He was sentenced September 6th, so we're not quite a month there.
Not quite a month out. Yeah.
Murder case. The trial got national attention because it involved a rising TikTok star accused of killing his wife and her lover in a likely high-rise.
But the defendant's erratic behavior and court outbursts soon became part of the story. And today was no different when a judge sentenced Ali Abulaban.
The bottom line here is he will die in prison. He will never be a free man. He will take his last breath there.
Okay, to be fair, that is so outrageous for the gallery to be doing that and the judge not saying anything. You are supposed to be stoic and silent. They usually
You're supposed to be.
They usually give the directive before the verdict is read, no matter what the outcome. If there is any disruption in the gallery, you will be asked to leave. That did not happen, for one. I mean, no, I'm all for it. But
I'm just saying, they're going to ask the whole fucking gallery to leave because that was everybody.
Well, okay. No, I understand that. But he didn't even preface the reading of it with "do not do this." So I guess it would be weird if you were like, "No, I didn't tell you you couldn't or shouldn't. You'll be asked to leave." So at first, it's just the decorum of the court. That was weird that he didn't state that at the onset. Secondly, the cheering, that's while you feel it, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Was really good. Rising star. No. Go for it.
TikTok rising star gives me the image of a Down syndrome kid holding up a sparkler on the 4th of July.
And Jay says, yes, judges will clear galleries. Yep. Agreed.
In California?
I'm a stick. Yeah, even in California.
I'm just going to keep going with the California's bad at everything bit because it's fun.
Thank you.
Please.
Because it is.
Before he was sentenced, loved ones of victims Anna Abulaban and Ray Barone gave emotional impact statements. Those also became heated and at one point turned into shouting between Anna's sister, Anna Abulaban.
You know Anna Marie's not gonna go cheat if you didn't cheat first.
Well, today was the first time that we actually heard from Anna's family. The prosecutor also read a statement in court from her mother. Then Ray's family members spoke, but there was more drama even before all of that. NBC7's Jackie Crea was in the courtroom for all of that stuff. She's live downtown with the details.
All of that stuff. He's a professional.
Well, as you heard, emotional from the start. First, a judge denying Abulaban's request for a mistrial, then those shouting matches that you just heard. And then in the end, the judge saying he's not even sure if Abulaban is sorry that he killed two innocent human beings.
He doesn't think they're innocent, though.
You know Anna Marie's not gonna go cheat if you didn't cheat first.
Excuse me, Jay.
Powerful words, powerful stuff. Would have been a bit more powerful if you could sort of enunciate, throw some extra syllables in there, but all in all, not bad.
So her family had to travel from the Philippines, and that's part of his he has to pay restitution and pay their travel and court costs out of, if he gets a job in prison, out of like the meager sense that he gets, anything he makes goes to that fund.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and excuse me, Jay, his number is actually B as in boy, Y as in yellow, 6136 CDCR number. Housed in Wasco. And if you know what Wasco is, it'd be funnier for you, but I actually know where it is. It's not fun. But yeah, anyway.
Sorry, Your Honor, but this feeling is like make me sick.
It's been 3 years since Ali Abulaban shot and killed his estranged wife and mother of his child, Anna Marie Abulaban, along with her friend, Ray Barron. A jury convicted him of first-degree murder. At his sentencing Friday, the victim's family spoke.
Your mother, who will see you die day by day in prison, you won't be dead like Ray, but you will also not be living. And then there's Amira, poor child. Not even your own daughter, now an orphan, mattered to you.
He was the one who was supposed to protect his wife and a child.
A man would not do this. But I hope he gets life in prison without parole. I want him to rot in prison for what he done to my daughter.
Abulaban's defense attorney, Jody Green, asking for a lighter sentence for her client. A crime committed in the heat of passion rather than premeditated, citing his poor mental health, his upbringing, and his addiction to cocaine.
We as people are a product of the environments in which we grow up.
And finally,
Karen.
Abulaban turned to face the rows filled with his victims' families.
I was in the worst physical and mental state of my life. I was sick.
But if you asked him at the time, he's peak. He can get anybody. The world is his. He does what he wants. I can't do a Scarface impression. If I could do a Scarface impression, that would have been the time, but it's not going to happen. So,
suffering from an untreated severe mental illness that was combined with a crippling drug addiction, which put me in a state of a drug-induced psychosis. My response to that moment was an unintended, impulsive reaction against my better judgment to the discovery of Ray's romantic involvement with my wife. Personally, I believe everyone should have the ability to parole because everyone has the ability to change.
No, they don't.
Abulaban saying he hopes to return to
disagree.
his now orphaned.
If you look at
him, not you.
Well, if you look at recidivism rates, no, they don't know. It's especially the ones that go in, and most of them do go in when they're like 17, 18 years old. They are stunted. They don't know how to exist in real life. And one of the guys that I told you about, double homicide, it was gang related, drive-by party kind of thing. Went in when he was barely 18, spent 30 freaking years, 32 years in prison. The last 4 years of his life, he's trying to figure out how to function. Now, he has a support system that not everybody does. A lot of them just go back to what they knew worked, that could get them money, could get them a job, because not everybody wants to hire a formerly incarcerated person. It's just the way it is. So to say everyone should be not everybody. No, not everybody. Not everybody. Some people that are currently housed.
Well, I would say that most people can't change, and it takes a legitimately strong-willed and minded individual to change, and those are in short supply these days.
And they need a strong support system once they're out. If they don't have that, they're going to fall back into the things that they have access to, or the people that will exploit them and use them as the fall guy once again, that kind of a situation. While I can empathize for them being stupid in the first place as a teenager, doing some fucked up shit with, oh, we're a gang, we're a family. No, you're an idiot, to be fair. Also, you're a child.
It was a pretty good Vin Diesel impression. For your lack of a Tony Montana impression, you got a good Vin Diesel right there.
No,
nothing's more important than
family. Get out of here. I can't stop it. But no, and especially talking to the ones that have not gone back and have actually been able to change their life, it's hard for them. Really?
The point.
Oh no. I believe Ollie can change. He gonna be real. Oh, I thought it was real gay real soon. He's gonna be gay real soon. That 69 impression is gonna become a reality, like you were saying.
All right. Where are we at with this? Because I sort of lost there for a moment.
Dare Moxie cast aspersions upon La Familia. How dare you?
Chat,
Okay,
y'all are the real
his daughter.
MVPs tonight.
Judge didn't buy it.
Firing within seconds of entering the apartment, clearly showing an intent to kill.
Yep.
Not heat of passion.
Nope.
Willful, deliberate, premeditated, cold-blooded murder. He is a very
Do you think
talented
that?
actor.
And this is an honest question because
Yeah.
I've it's pretty well known that cops and attorneys don't fucking get along. So I've hated every attorney I've ever met in real life, which is why I was frankly when I've been on with you with some of your lawsuit buddies was so impressed by the fact that I didn't hate them. But like, do you think that after the sentencing and whatnot, and his attorney like runs out to the judge like, dude, I'm really sorry, like it's my job, I have to like because
No, I think the judges, attorneys, and the cops all understand each of their own functions, right? It's not personal.
attorneys
Some
might
of them
understand
do have
cops.
teeth.
Cops don't understand attorneys. They do not. They
Well,
we're not a smart enough breed to understand those people.
Cage Raid, baby!
Oh, what up, Cult Classic Cage? How you doing, girly?
Hell yeah! Holy shit, we've got across platforms 126 people watching right now.
Fuck yes.
Hell yeah! Watching this asshole. Wait, phrasing. Anyway, that's why.
When I saw the Scarface videos, it's as if when he
Thank you,
committed
Kathy.
these crimes, he became that persona of Scarface, of just the cold-blooded killing without remorse. Any tears that he's cried in this courtroom have been for himself.
Yep. The entire time.
Every
But what
time.
about me? I lost my family. I lost the love of my life. You did it, you dumb bitch. Like,
that's right. Get fired up, Moxie.
Main character syndrome, egocentric, narcissistic asshole. So I think I don't really want to get into the victim impact stuff because that's just a little mushy. But you did. Let me bring it over here.
Oh, Herga Durka.
Elijah.
I'll Durka de
Durka,
Durka.
Durka. You found the statistics for his page, and we can.
Yes,
we
I
can,
forgot about these. Yes.
Yeah. So if you
So
would,
his
if you
video
would do the
views.
honors.
Yeah, so his video views have, because of the sentencing, obviously his name has been in the media a lot. And so people have been very curious about this guy. His numbers, as you notice, have notably gone up over the course of the month. His September numbers for total video views aren't too bad right now. Now, I highly doubt he's monetized on TikTok at this point, but he's getting views. Unfortunately, people are unsubscribing from the channel. So,
you know what? I would petition. I would petition for him to keep it monetized because every single cent should go toward the family.
I actually would. Yeah, I think. In fact, he should, do those TikToks from prison. Like, and just send all that money to the fucking family. Do Tony Montana getting the word I don't want to say on your show. Like, what's that be like? But no, his total subscribers they're falling off. The ones that were still left around to begin with. So earlier, when you pulled up that account that Dempsey said, I think that's his alt. No, that's, or I don't know if you brought up his real one or not, but I put it in the chat just in case. No, his real account is still active, sitting at a whopping 12,000 followers. To put that in perspective for you guys, at this point, Gooch is more famous than him.
Wow. Okay. It's 12.9K. I saw 68K. That's just likes. So, wow.
Now, he probably would have had a lot more likes and views had so many of the videos are scrubbed. There's only like, if you notice, there's only like 18 or something videos on this page at this point. So I'm assuming his social media manager, who you will learn about in the documentary if you watch it, scrubbed some shit, but left stuff up. I don't know why. Maybe because of the court case.
Or the licensing or the rights to that documentary from Peacock.
Right. That could be. So there's a large chunk missing, but the ones that are still there, views are going up.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
And if you're curious, if you want to write him a love letter, he is currently housed in the Wasco State Prison. And his CDCR number is right there. BY 6136, 32 years old. Ali Nasser Abulaban. And
that's the most
parole.
stereotypical name he could have had, by the way. Like, this sounds like a fucking Family Guy character. Ali Nasir Nabulaban. Like, tell me this. You don't hear Peter Griffin being like, all right, Ali. Like,
okay, so you know how there's this racist joke about like how Chinese people name their children? They drop chopsticks down the stairs and it's like ching tong, whatever.
Yeah.
There's an opportunity for a joke here because Abulaban just sounds like it's a sound effect to me in some ways. I just don't know what to use.
Imagine that, dude. There's part of your grip. Someone drops you a fucking Red Boy. Oh, you get the Abulaban effect. Like,
oh no, you get the Abulaban chime.
just take one of his sound bites and being like, "This bitch, oh, you're calling the cops on me, you whore."
You might have something there. Oh my god. God damn it. Can we pull this crazy train back into the station, Mr. Life Without Parole LWAP over here? Go fuck himself 10 times to Sunday. Thank you for going on this journey with me, Leon.
I was so happy to do it. I've been looking forward to this for a couple of weeks now. Like, straight up, I'm now, and we get to do it twice a month, which is even better.
Even better.
I don't know. Do you have ideas for next week and you just haven't shared yet, or?
Well, in 2 weeks.
Or next time, I should say.
The next week. The next time of the month. I have not selected one yet, but because of the season, I wanted to do something that's a little more in the holiday spirit, or more slasher like. It doesn't have to be a new case, but new cases are very hot right now. So we'll see what's available.
Well, also, everyone's fucking done Ted Bundy, and everyone's done Charles Manson, and everyone's done fucking.
What about the Toy Box Killer?
I like that band.
It's a band.
Toy Box? No, just Toy Box.
Oh, just Toy Box. I'm like, oh my. Oh, Dempsey says a billabong. Yes, it sounds like a billabong. So tomorrow night, I'm going to be on with the Angry Badger on his panel. Are you going to be there? Is that one that you frequent?
I don't. Badger said just show up whenever, and I hate doing that because I'm like, no, I don't like inviting myself in other people's houses. So as it currently stands, no. If he invites me, sure, but no.
Okay. So you can find me on Angry Badger show tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Pacific. And then other than that, Saturday, first panel stream, grift stream. I have not had a grift stream. I did not know I had a grift inside of me all along, but apparently I did. And thank you, Leona, for bringing that out. Gothy Moxie.
She was happy to do it.
Oh, you were. She was. Patricia was happy. That wasn't me. It was Patricia. But yes, there is a new grift panel show once a month, and Leon, whoever decides to show up that night.
It's your first show. We'll do Leon that way. It doesn't. This shit don't go off the fucking rails. In the future, we'll see what happens. The first show, you getting Leon.
We'll see what happens. So there's only one goal for the grifting. Next month there will be 2 goals, and you get some extras, and it's going to be a surprise. It's going to be awesome. And I wasn't joking about that Pikachu outfit.
Oh, I'm so glad you aren't.
So we'll see about that maybe in December. Christmas miracle. I have to practice the Pikachu dance though. But that is a lofty goal. We'll see what happens. Do you have anything coming up other than appearing on my flagship monthly grift?
I can't wait. That's going to be a really fun show. You've already got a couple of great guests lined up for it, from what I've heard.
Like yourself.
Besides me, I'm not trying to be a narcissist. I know we just got done watching 2 hours of narcissism. I was talking about the others that have been announced. But yeah, beyond that,
I actually haven't announced them. So
you haven't?
Why don't I do that now? So Tebow of Minimal Effort Podcast, he is going to be there. He might appear a few minutes late, but having him there at all is great. And then Sammy 3P has also confirmed. And there are 2 more seats available, so I need to do some hunting tomorrow. And it'll be a fun stream. So it's mostly going to be the chillest of chills and maybe games, topical stuff. There's also a React channel in my Discord for submissions that we can just blind review. it's going to be a variety show. So I hope you all show up. I hope you have a great night. Thank you so much for watching That Crime of the Month. And peace out. Love you.